Everybody's attacking me. I want to start the meeting Wednesday, June 24th, 2026 at 7:03 p.m. If you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, I want to start off with approving meeting minutes.
Motion to approve?
I have an amendment.
Yep.
So on the section where we were talking about the Hull Yacht Club one-day alcohol license, I'd like to amend to add that I had asked Select Person Gray if Park and Rec had approved the 3 events in the park, to which he replied that they had.
Okay.
So I only have that one amendment.
I'm okay with that.
Move that. Sure. All in favor of approving the meetings of
Seconded.
meeting of May 27, 2026?
I made the
You
motion.
second?
Somebody,
Okay.
did you second it?
Yep.
I didn't.
You
Jerry
did. You
seconded.
seconded.
She made a small addition.
Yep.
He made the motion, I seconded it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Good. Okay, public hearings. We have Tide and Flames LLC doing business as Tide and Flames, 145 Nantasket Avenue, Fong Tran, proposed manager, regarding application for all alcohol license, which is a transfer, common vic license, and new, that's new, and entertainment license, that's new as well. So,
Mr. Chairman, just point of information, if I might. Somebody from the public reached out. I am not an expert in these matters. Procedurally, from what I'm told, it's simply a matter of, this is a public hearing for a liquor license. liquor license, change of ownership, whatever it happens to be, that it's standard procedure to have whoever speaks for it just state their name and address and whether they're for or against the liquor license for anyone that's going to speak to it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been asked to clarify.
I don't believe that's true. Whoever's speaking for a public hearing should state their name and address. They do not have to say if they're for or opposed.
Okay, fair enough, okay. Folks, you have the floor.
Oh, yes. So you want me to walk here?
Yeah, if you, whatever you feel free.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. So can I stand here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So I just try to buy the property at 145 Nantasket. The previous restaurant is called Flat, right? Yes. Yeah, Nantasket Flat. So I want to transfer the liquor license.
Do you currently own the property now, or?
No, because we try to get the hearing done, and then we will. The closing date is on the 30th.
Of this month?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any questions?
So it would probably be contingent on approval of the license, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yep.
What are your plans for the property?
The same concept, the same, like the restaurants, because the current property right now is a restaurant with a liquor license, so I just want to do the same thing.
Great, thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Any kind of menu thoughts?
Oh, yeah, we do have.
That's the exciting part.
Do you want to see it, or?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody wants to see it.
Well, because the last few weeks, we've been hearing all sorts of rumors, and it'd be fun to see it.
Oh, okay. So,
Please.
That's perfect, no problem.
We can pass them around.
Terry and I will share that.
Maybe give some to the audience if
Yep.
you get extra. If you don't, that's all right.
Moisture, can I stand here?
Yeah. Ryan, if I could, maybe if you could share with the audience what, a rough idea of your menu.
Sorry?
You don't have to go over everything, but just a rough idea of your menu, because I'm sure everyone's excited.
Yeah,
about it.
so I try to do like kind of seafood, like a lobster roll and a boiled lobster, and like clams, and I will add in menu like some kind of like my Vietnamese food, like egg roll, the spring roll, and like pho. Yep, to Town Hall community.
Okay,
It's
great,
really good.
great. Any other questions from the board? Jen?
Yeah, no, that was just one. I would just take the opportunity to welcome a new business owner in town. Was going to ask, about the menu, previous business experience, any changes to the restaurant. And just so the board knows, you have the agreement in the packet. You have the proposed seating. And as a reminder, this is a transfer of the liquor license from Nantasket Flats to Tide and Flames LLC. And then you also have the common victualler and entertainment licenses, and those are both new licenses. So I didn't know if you want to speak to the type of entertainment, the hours of entertainment, hours of operation.
Yes. So I just want entertainment. I like sometimes I just want to do the music. And, like when the customer come in and have some a little bit of music, and we try to do like some karaoke at night. And if the customer need, and some DJ. I just want to stay the same as the previous owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question. So the live music during the summer outside is going to end at 8 o'clock? Is that what I read?
Yes, and around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for,
And the patio will be clear out around 10 p.m.
okay.
Like nobody there.
Okay. By, what'd you say, by 10?
By 10.
By 10?
Yeah.
Outside, okay.
Yeah, outside.
I just wanted to read the hours for the exterior music. So Monday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. would be a DJ, recorded music. And then on Sundays, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., DJ music. And you'll provide sound mitigation
Yes.
on the outside as well. And entertainment on Monday holidays will be on the deck during the same hours as Sunday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I try to respect the prisoners around there.
I just have one question about the menu. It looks beautiful. It's extremely expansive with, I mean, seafood boils, steak, lots of different, some Vietnamese twists on a lot of things. I'm just curious, will you have any Vietnamese noodles?
Also, pho is a type of noodle. You know, pho, the beef noodle soup.
Excellent, thank you.
I don't know, have you tried before?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay.
Big fan, though,
Sure.
of all types of, yeah.
Any other questions from the board? No. I'll put it off to the audience. Anybody have any questions? Sir, name and address?
Good evening. My name is Pete Horsford. I live at Ocean Place Condos, and I'm a butter to you. And I welcome the restaurant. I wish you success. My question is not with the restaurant, it's with the patio. 7 days a week, music out there is a bit much. Can't sit out on your deck and enjoy a quiet evening. My suggestion would be to have music out there on the weekends, like from 2 to 6. Because we have experience with the flats, and it was disruptive. You could not be on the patio and have a conversation, particularly with the water's proximity, noise travels. So my concern is what can be done about noise and the type of music. If you're going to have karaoke outside, as far as I'm concerned, that's a no-go. Try to, when the flats had professional people sing, it was terrible. Now you're going to have, I'm just saying, it was loud, and I can see karaoke inside. I can see outside piped-in music at a certain level. And who is going to monitor the noise and from the music? Is it up to me or residents to call and complain?
So you're bringing up a point that we've discussed at length with regard to another business in town who does have outside entertainment at much later hours. And the problem, I'm going to tell you, the root cause problem is the town hall does not have a noise ordinance.
Right.
And so if there is excessive noise, the advice, and town manager can correct me, I believe, is to call the police, ask them to turn the music down.
I've done that in the past.
Yep.
And the police have got to come over to your unit, and they've got to actually witness it. So they've got to go out on the deck, and they've got to witness it before they go over and make a complaint to turn the noise down. So what is your reply to loud music and the hours of music out on the patio? What I've seen from the past is you're going to get any action, it's going to be on the weekend, not Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And reasonable hours, as far as I'm concerned, for quality of life, would be 2 to 6. Cut it off. Then we can go out on the patio and enjoy an evening without having to listen to what's going on the patio outside there. So my concern is threefold. It's the loudness of the music, and the hours of operation, and then the type of music. As I say, a low-volume piped-in music is acceptable, but trying to have karaoke on a deck, that's a no-go.
Sure.
There's no karaoke on the deck.
Is that your intention?
It's
That's
right
inside.
here.
Yeah,
It says
that's inside.
interior.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, I don't put the carry on the patio.
And so if we, in the past, if there's been a problem, we'd call you, or the owner, and say, hey, we can hear this out on the deck. I could even hear it inside my unit with the sliders closed. So it's, the noise is a big concern. The hours are a big concern. The type of music is a big concern. So you've got, I think I counted the other day, 4 speakers. They're good-sized speakers on the deck. And we all know the deck isn't that big. And so you've got the microphone, 4 big speakers. It's noisy.
Yeah, as I said, there's no karaoke on, like outside.
Yeah, well, that's good. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Because people who can sing shouldn't be outside trying to sing. So that's
Yep.
So that's a 3-pronged concern.
Okay.
Noise, hours of operation, and the type of music.
Perfect. Thank you. Susan?
So when the way I read this, there's no live music
Yeah.
outdoors. It's just DJ and piped in and recorded music.
All right, anyone else in the audience want to speak? Ma'am?
My name's Linda Green. I also live at Ocean Place. Pete lives on the end of the building closest to the establishment. I live midway in the building, halfway down the building. And as Pete said, when you have your windows and doors shut and the TV on, and you still can hear the music outside, it's a problem. I'm really glad somebody's going to be there. I'm tired of looking at an empty spot just like Beach Fire across the street. And I wish you guys a lot of luck. I'm very heartened to see this menu. But in the past, I've called the police to no avail. I mean, they come. But, you know, like Pete said, they go over, they say something, whatever. I have in the past gone to the restaurant and asked the manager to please turn down the outside music. I mean, some nights they'd be piping music out there and there was nobody there, it was raining. And I said, is there any I go in and talk to the hostess, is there any reason why you're piping music to the outdoors? Well, we're trying to attract people to come in. I said, I think they can tell that you're open. You know, I don't think the music's what's bringing them in, and they've been always nice when I've done that. In fact, I've taken that approach more often than calling the police, because let's face it, in the summer they got better things to do. And it just is, and I think it's good to put a face sometimes to the complainer. But the police will know I'm a frequent flyer. I was calling all the time for the flats, for high tide. So just a warning, you know. I mean, I'm glad it's not going to be karaoke. DJs can get loud. It's nice here and people have a good time. It's just that when you're trying to enjoy peace and quiet after 6 o'clock at night, it can be a bit much. So that's my 2 cents.
Erwin?
Mr. Chairman, would you be willing to share contact information with folks who live nearby if they have a problem?
Sure. Yes.
Someone that they could call?
Yes, of course, yes. I have no problem about that.
Okay.
Jerry?
So I think the residents' points are very well taken, and again, that's probably the worst complaint you'll hear.
Okay.
Is, you know, we do have, this is an older community. I'm older, and people do want to, you know, and we have young families too, that the kids have to get up in the morning that might live near outside entertainment going on, and the noise till late at night is a problem. So I think this is a brand new business. We do want to be business friendly, obviously, and it makes sense to give them every opportunity, right? I also would recommend that we, as a select board, adopt a noise ordinance so that the chief of police has clear-cut guidelines to go by. And again, if you have outside entertainment, I've recommended this to the other business, you could simply put a decibel meter on your property as the music's playing, and you could know that you're below the limit. So, I wish you the best of luck.
That's good, thank you very much.
Anything else? Anyone else in the audience, sir?
Richard Christian, I also live at Ocean Place. And again, welcome you to the community and wish you all success, because you don't need any vacant businesses. And I hope the food's good too.
Oh, sure, thank you.
But as far as the music, that's really the only issue. And I don't actually see on the paper anything about live music outside.
Yeah, we don't do live music outside.
Because, and that's been, I think Peter mentioned, the live music on Sunday afternoons, they were marginally above amateurs, and they weren't good, and so they made up for the lack of skill with volume. And that's not a good combination. So
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Recorded music that's by professionals and not painful to the ears, and the hours are okay, I think we'll be all right, just as long as somebody doesn't go all the way up on the volume side.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Great. And if you guys could be proactive too and go to the restaurant and give them your information, you know what I mean? Contact information, whether it be text or what have you.
Yeah,
And,
after dinner. Yeah.
If the music bother you outside, just let me know. And I just want to introduce my partner too. So he was there too. So we are texting together to get the business running.
So you, sir, also heard, obviously? All right, good, good. Jerry,
First, I'd like to congratulate you and wish you the best of luck. Welcome to the community, and I hope you have success. And I'd like to make a motion to approve the application.
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Sorry, can I ask Erwin to just specify the approvals, because you have three, you have the alcohol transfer, the common victular, and the entertainment.
Okay, I move to approve the all alcohol license transfer, the common victular license, which is a new issuance, and the entertainment license, which is a new issuance.
Thank you.
Gary, second, still?
Seconded. Just a question, though, too. It doesn't say anything about a vote on here, and per last week's recommendation from town council, is it,
It does not need
Yes,
to
it's
say
fine.
that.
it doesn't need to say it in this situation? Okay. Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Good. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to town.
Best of luck and welcome.
Thank you everyone here tonight, and please come by and support us.
We will.
Definitely.
When you open, we don't know yet because we're still in the process of, do the closing and then do some painting and decoration and all of that, so.
About a month?
Yeah, about more than a month.
A
Yes.
little more than a month.
Yeah, a little bit more than a month.
Okay.
Well, we'll look forward to the grand opening.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hopefully, but, we'll see.
All right, moving right along. So 7:05, we have Kevin Baruchan
Barukian.
and from GEI and Kevin Mooney, the Waterways Project Management regarding Nantasket Ave Seawall Project traffic recommendations for Nantasket Ave and update on Point Allerton and Nantasket Ave intersection. Jen?
Brian, before, if I could just start, but also I think for people in the hallway, you can, I know it's not the most comfortable, but you can come in, either there's seats available, especially if they want to speak on the matter, you have to be in the office and not blocking the doorway. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
But,
Oh.
yeah. Oh, well, no, I just want to welcome Kevin and Kevin and let the board know that, and they'll get into a little more detail. But the Nantasket Avenue Seawall project is coming to a close by the end of June, more or less. So this evening, you'll hear recommendations from GI, who are a traffic or the engineer, project engineers. We also have Chief Dunn here from Hull Police Department. We had an internal meeting to discuss the recommendations and also come to a conclusive, joint recommendation on a variety of speed limits, traffic directions, all of which Kevin will get a little more detail on.
Okay, great. Gentlemen?
Kevin Mooney, Waterways Project Management. I am the town representative on the site and overseeing the contract itself. Kevin Barukian is with GEI, the engineer of record for the project. Kevin's going to be running through some slides on the overall traffic study. They hired Green International. They performed the traffic study. We had a public hearing. There was still a lot of questions. We did additional traffic study work after construction started, which included the painted island at Beacon Road, so we could see what would happen when school opened and that traffic happened. And now we have the results, and we have some recommendations on which way we should go.
Great.
And then we have what we're doing for the intersection of Point Allerton and Nantasket Avenue. So even though the seawall work is done, the road will not open up until the intersection work is completed. But the overlook is open today.
Okay. Do we have a timeline on that? Or?
Yes, the work is we have the work starting around July 6th
Okay.
through 4th of July, and they anticipate having all the work done by the end of August.
Okay.
So we'll have it all done, all the signage up, all the line painting done, everything complete before school opens.
Okay, great. Great.
Kevin?
Thank you, everybody. Kevin Brucian with GI Consultants, as everybody said. We'll present here on the Nantasket Ave Seawall specifically for the traffic study. As Kevin mentioned, this is our second public hearing. So for everybody who can see on the two screens present, we had two study areas. This is the first study area, which is Nantasket Way in Fitzpatrick. This section is the part of the seawall that is currently under construction. And as Kevin said, we are close to wrapping that part up. The second slide here, this is the second part of the study. This is the Beacon intersection, and we'll go into more details with that, but this section was redone during the construction phase to include a painted island, and we'll go into that a little bit. So the traffic study was originally done in January of 2024. Through consultation with the town and all the residents, we performed a second study, which was completed in September of '24, which again included the closure of the roadway, as well as inclusive of the painted island and everything that was done as part of the construction. At that time, traffic volumes were higher in September than we'll go into some of the impacts associated with that. So all in all, the traffic study found both roadways and the intersection to be an A and B level rating, which is a good thing. That's what we want for the intersection and for the roadway. And the proposed is also maintaining an A and B rating accordingly. The crash rate, so we did study crash rates. There was one major incident that occurred, and due to the low volume, that peaks the overall rating for the area, but all in all, the crash rate shows that everything else essentially is below average, which is a good thing. The site distance was studied for both the roadway and the intersection. Reviewing the posted, we actually analyzed it for higher speeds than the current proposed posted, and all in all, it comes into the 85th percentile. And shows at the end of the day that the intersections will maintain an A and B overall approval rating. The one big thing at Beacon Ave is currently there is limited sight due to the grades, and we'll touch upon that in a little bit. So we looked at a bunch of different alternatives for Nantasket Way and Fitzpatrick. One is eastbound, one was westbound. Both provide a level of service of A and B accordingly, and all the site distances, as noted here, are desirable for the measured speed. The overall study ended up reviewing over 7 alternatives. They're all listed here. The revised study included 3 additional alternatives, of which the last one listed there, the new alternative, is the new painted configuration of the Beacon intersection. All the alternatives provided a level A and or B level of service and maintained site distances. So at the end of the day, from a summary and recommendation perspective, we've looked at Nantasket Way. Our recommendation is to maintain it in the northbound out towards Point Allerton. This configuration is in conformance with the resident feedback, as well as maintains the recommendation from the police and fire department. It maintains 2-way traffic on Nantasket Ave between Beacon Road and the Point Allerton Avenue intersection, and maintains 2-way traffic along Fitzpatrick Way. So this is the recommended configuration, which is the current painted configuration that is out there today. It includes a painted island and the revised slightly intersection as you come down into the intersection coming off of Fitzpatrick. This area, while it currently works, if it was to ever be redeveloped or developed further due to maybe other infrastructure in the area, we would recommend revisiting the overall design of this space. Currently, these are the pre-construction posted speed limits. So as you come up into the Beacon Ave intersection right now, it is a 30, followed, then drops down to a 25 through the intersection, follows that along all the way out to Nantasket Ave and Fitzpatrick Way, about by Hall Yacht Club. And the posted, the post-construction currently is recommended to be 30 on this slide, and we received recommendation from the police department that actually we maintain 25 all the way through the intersection, then all the way out past Hall Yacht Club. And then coming vice versa, 25 through the intersection and then speeding back up to 30 as you go to exit town. As we look at the pre-construction of the current construction area, it is maintaining 35 through the curve and 25 as you exit, headed out towards the high school. And our recommendation is to maintain 20 along the seawall, and then speeding back up to 25 as you head out towards the high school, maintaining 30 on the heading out of Hull back towards Boston through the curve. And then this is the current intersection design. So with this, I'll turn it over to Kevin to help describe a little more.
So in our public meeting we had a lot of concerns of past flooding coming from the lagoon. The seawall project, when it was designed to protect from the coast. So all the design went into protecting from the ocean. And with all the concerns that were raised, I did a lot of research, and I did find that there had been some occasions of high flooding from the lagoon. So we found out what that level was. During the early parts of this construction project, we had to take the overhead wires and put them underground. And then we had to put the water line in next to it. So we had all the utilities going underground, creating a lot more dirt. So I went back to the engineers and says, okay, can we use this dirt to raise this road? Yeah, okay. So I'm eliminating a couple of problems. One, stop a lot of trucks leaving town. Two, reusing as much material as we possibly can on site. So we are going to be raising this road up to bring it up above that flood level. And to do so, we have to change the drainage system. Now, a little common sense comes in here. The effluent pipe or the outflow pipe that we have for the major storm drain going into the lagoon is underwater at high tide. We're going to raise that above high tide. So if we have a storm at high tide, the water can flow out properly and the intersection can drain. We're also putting in a rain garden over here. So any water that's coming down Point Allerton Avenue and Nantasket Avenue can collect in the rain garden, recharge into the ground. If we have heavy rains, there's an overflow pipe that will come into a new structure. Part of doing that is reshaping the intersection. A lot of people are concerned with the telephone pole that's right up in that corner here. Because when you turn that corner nice and tight, that pole's right there. One of the things is extending this down, making this into a true intersection, you're not going to have that problem making the turn. Also, extending the stop line down, people now have to go down to Nantasket Avenue to see what's coming and not shooting across. On Nantasket Avenue, we have a couple of things going. I've noticed throughout this project, all the school buses that come up here, drop kids off, pick them up, then do a 3-point turn, or one person, a 7-point turn. It's funny watching her go. It's just funny. We put a bus stop here. So there's a spot wide enough, the road's wide enough, we can put a bus stop in, the kids can be dropped off, picked up, and then once that's done, they can just drive down, go back to the schools. We put a stop sign here, so now you have to stop at Nantasket Avenue, because you're going to be either going up or you're going to be going to a single lane where we're dropping proposing dropping the speed limit down to 20 miles an hour. But the walkway in the original contract ended here. Now with the change to the intersection, the walkway is coming up to here with the crosswalk over into the walkways on Point Allerton and Nantasket. So you'll be able to walk from Allerton Hill all the way down to the railroad bed, past the yacht clubs, all up against this project, either on the lagoon, or you get down to the new intersection, and there's the overlook. The overlook has 2 levels, but you can see into Boston. There's enough space out there for artists to go out there with the easels and check out Boston Light, and City of Boston, Logan Airport. If you have the opportunity to go down and check it out, please do. But please, stay off the vegetation. It's just been planted, and unfortunately, we're still in the middle of a drought, and it's struggling right now. So anything you can do to stay off the vegetation, we appreciate it. The roadway is closed to traffic until the intersection's complete, but people can walk it and bike it. if there's work going on, just watch out for the workers. That's all I ask for you to do. But I got people walking it already, so. And this is all going to start, like I said, around July 6th. And when I have a firm date, I'll be posting it out for all the neighborhood to know.
Okay, great.
So the recommendations, I don't know, on the traffic speeds. Working with the police department, they felt that 20 miles an hour was a good idea. Along here, it's not a heavily traveled road. It's going to be single lane. There's going to be a pedestrian path. The chief and I took a stroll down there today just to see what everything is. We are looking to use the stanchions that we put on Fitzpatrick Way. We'll be putting those in. We are looking to put in bollards on the back side of the path with some lights for the path itself. That's not being done with this contractor. We're looking for other contractors to come in and do that work, but it will be done. There's going to be a sign they're proposing to put down off the railroad bed that points you out to the road so you don't drive up on the walkway. I discussed that today as well, just to get their perspective if I'm going in the right direction for safety. As for Fitzpatrick Way, they're going 30 on Nantasket, 25 on the curb, 35 on Fitzpatrick, 25 down by the houses, 30 over there. Recommendation, they're saying keep it at 25. I can't argue with that. We're saying 30, 35, but the traffic commissioners, it's their decision on what that would be. We'll work with whoever to get the signage up, to make sure it's done, and make it happen.
Okay. Anything from the board members? Or chief, do you have anything to add, or?
It's pretty much covered what our recommendations were. We did have a meeting with them about 2 weeks ago. Today I went down and met with Kevin and walked the site. One of the concerns I believe a lot of people have is there's the left side of it heading north. It slopes down to the lagoon. Something to keep in mind is there was never a guardrail there before. Now there's about 7 feet wide area where the road, where the tar ends and where there's the vegetation.
Yeah.
There'll be more vegetation that slopes down. But it is about 8-9 feet higher than it was prior.
3.
3 feet higher.
Yeah. It looks bigger.
Just looks a little bigger. Yep.
But prior to this, there was no guardrail there either, but I think there's been more safety concerns added by the concrete to make it a little bit safer, but there's still not be a guardrail in that area.
And you're comfortable with the speed limits?
Well, yeah, we recommend they lower it down.
Okay.
That's one of the main reasons. Also, it's going to be a one-way road now with one line of traffic. As Kevin said, there's not a lot of traffic on that roadway to begin with. We wanted to lower down the 25-mile-an-hour area of Fitzgerald because when you do come off Beacon, if you're traveling slower, you'll have more time and a better line of sight, and you're able to come out to the stop sign. It was 35 there, right, when you start Fitzgerald, all the way out around the curve. We felt that was too high, so recommending you would be lower to 25. Normal towns in Massachusetts, if it's not posted, it's 30 everywhere, so you would have to rule that it's going to be lower than 25 if you agree with our recommendation. And also for the 20-mile-an-hour road where Nantasket is on the seawall.
Perfect. Jerry?
So yeah, first question is, you had mentioned public hearing.
Yes.
And it's not listed on, this is a public hearing, it's listed as an appointment. Is this
It's not a public hearing.
It's not, right?
No.
Right. So are we still planning to do a public hearing for the residents, or is this technically?
This is the public meeting.
This is the public, okay.
Presentation.
I just want to clarify that, okay. So yeah, the first question I have is, I've been hearing issues about a concrete quality issue, and I'm wondering if you can confirm, if this came up months and months ago, we were told there's no issue, but now I'm hearing there may be an issue.
We are looking into making sure that the concrete is going to achieve a 50-year lifespan.
That's not my question, sir. I think you know that. Is there a concrete quality issue with what has been poured?
Yeah, I could take it. I mean, I think Kevin did answer your question, and we are taking measures to ensure what the quality of the final wall is.
Are there any concerns about the quality, or is this just normal standard procedure? That's my question.
The standard procedure, when you see some of the results of what's coming out to ask for the remediation and then seeing what's being done, questioning it, and then staying on the contractor until it gets right.
Have you gotten any testing numbers that would cause concern for you that the concrete quality may be an issue?
I have not gotten any to date, but I am bringing in a testing firm to do non-destructive test.
As standard procedure?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. So yeah, my question really, and I've got a lot of questions from the public about the lack of a guardrail and safety concerns. Obviously, this is a first in state design for this kind of seawall. We agreed to raise the road by 3 feet, and that's a concern. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to recommend my mom goes driving down that road. Not a chance. And it does seem narrow from afar. I haven't had a chance to drive on it yet or walk on it, but from afar, it does seem pretty narrow. And what I don't see yet, which I do want more clarification on, is you mentioned the sticks that are like similar to the Fitzpatrick Way, and then you mentioned bollards, right?
Yes.
Bollard is a big chunky metal meant to stop traffic.
Yes.
So what's going where, and can we see, is there any depiction of that and what it will look like?
Well, Fitzpatrick, the stanchions, the white reflective stanchions, those will be going between the travel lane and the footpath. So it's paved all the way across now. So we got rid of the stone dust path now. So on the pavement, where we have the lane separation, that's where those stanchions will go.
And is it a 4-foot wide walking path up against the seawall? Is that correct?
No.
Oh, it's not.
The walking path is against the lagoon.
It's on the lagoon side, okay. And there'll be stanchions, those white sticks, if you will, that delineate.
The warm months.
So where are the bollards going then?
They're going to go behind the path in the vegetative strip. Now, vegetative strip is 7 feet wide. Some areas it goes as wide as 13 feet wide. There's a foot of soft material. If you walk on it now, you're going to sink into it. If somebody drives on it now, they're going to bog right down into the material.
So how are you going to install bollards in that?
We're going to drive them in. So a bollard is about 8 feet tall.
Okay.
So we're going to drive them in about 4.5 feet. So 3.5 feet will be exposed, and then we are looking to put solar lamps on top. What we're looking at right now, the battery life is 10 years.
So those won't be cemented in place or anchored in?
They will be cemented in place. You fill them with concrete.
Fill them with concrete, but in terms of like a footing around the base of it?
There's going to be more than half of that pipe will be driven into the ground.
And that'll be enough to hold in place. Okay. I think that's all I had.
Anyone else? Erwin? Greg? Good?
I'm good.
Susan?
I'm good.
Anybody in the audience?
Yes. Susan Oberg Jacobitz, 862B Nantasket Avenue. I live right where the stop sign is, and then you, at the end of Beacon Road, there's a stop sign.
Yes.
You stop at that stop sign, then you go maybe 3 car lengths, and then there's another stop sign. And the telephone pole is right there, and you cannot see. That property is owned by the town. Why can't something else be done with that? And it's very dangerous. I've watched the school buses every day. They have to go all the way out into Fitzpatrick Highway just to turn the corner. Now, I was under the impression what you said earlier was that it's going to go, the school buses or the traffic is going up Nantasket. They'll be picking kids up or driving home and then going out the other way, the way it was in the beginning before the wall was done. Is that correct?
I don't know if they went out that way in the beginning, but I don't know if that's how they went out in the beginning.
Yeah.
I only
well,
see
it was a two-way street.
It was a two-way street back then. I can tell you what they do now, since the road shut down.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it now. And since this has been set up. Now, as for that utility pole that's there,
right.
That's a very terrible place to have a pole. I agree with you 100%. And the biggest problem with that is the high tension wires.
Yeah, well, there's only one pole, and we have our own light department. So why can't they bury that pole and get rid of the problem now before we do all this work on the road?
Well, that would be something that needs to be looked at, and that's part of what's being looked at in the future for the intersection, but part of that is the development of that area. They were looking at something going on down there where they're going to need power. At that time, a lot of things needs to be changed. And
It's been like that for 16 years.
yeah,
18 years.
it's a terrible location for a pole.
Yeah, it's not a good,
And-
you cannot stop at the end of Beacon Road and see to the right on Nantasket Avenue. You have to go by the stop sign, halfway down the road, and then make sure nobody's coming in that direction, and then go to the second stop sign, where the telephone pole is.
This
There's
was-
2 stop signs.
Yeah, so we agree that it's not an ideal location. That this particular pole has been a matter of much discussion, but Kevin's
So
gonna.
to redo that intersection means we have to redo a wide swath of that area. And to do that, we need to raise a lot of the roads and also drop a lot of the upper part of the intersection. To do that is a much bigger development, which right now as part of the seawall project cannot be absorbed by the existing funds. It has been discussed with the town at numerous lengths. We know it's a problem. The current marked out version is the best we can do right now without putting in granite or anything like that. And if we do that, everybody's gonna lose their tires and their rims on the granite, right? So right now, the painted island is the best we can do. But at the same
Well,
point,
I
it has
think
been
that
discussed.
painted island is useless. I live there, I know, I see it all the time.
Okay.
People go around that corner 90 miles an hour. I've seen accidents bang right into the wall. What's going to happen with the school bus there halfway down the street? These are just issues that really need to be taken care of
Fair enough.
before we do anything else.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
So can we address that a little bit? I'm going to put the chief on the spot. I think some of the discussion has been, since those changes have been made, that there's actually been less accidents and reduced speed. So we hear you. I hear your opinion. We've been watching it closely.
Anyone else in the audience? Ma'am?
Marie Wentling, 18 Mayflower Road. I agree 100%. The painted islands mean nothing. People drive over them constantly. If there was granite there, we would all be in big trouble, especially this past winter with the snow plows. There was like no way to get around that. So it's a terrible intersection. We've known that for a long time. Let's just not do anything to make it worse. I was confused by a couple of things in your presentation. The other intersection, Point Allerton Ave and Nantasket Ave, where you said you were going to put a green, like a rain garden. Is that private property there at that corner? No, it's
all
just
town
sort of
property.
taken over. It looks like private property.
Probably.
Okay. So there's that. That's good. Buses now will be able to go northbound on the one-way road, but they still have to do what we all have a really hard time with, is when we're coming southbound on Nantasket Ave and have to make that hairpin turn up. It's brutal just in a car. And that's what I think Susan was talking about, that the buses have to like literally get in the other lane to make that left-hand turn, or sometimes they go into the Daily and Windsor parking lot, turn around in there, and then come at it this way. I watch it all the time too. So it's still not a resolved issue, and I get that you can't do it from that, but I just want to reiterate that painted islands mean nothing. It's still a dangerous intersection. Thank God nobody's rolled over this year, but I've seen a few rollovers on that strip, and it's terrible. So mostly just wanted to make those points.
Perfect. Greg?
Well, just with the buses, they're going to be coming from school. Like if it's the high school in Jacobs, they'd be coming down Fitzpatrick, going up over the hill, going out the other side with the wall in a safe exit, at least the buses.
But for them to get on, so they're coming from the school to drop the kids off?
At the end of the
If
day.
they're going at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like going to school's easy. You go up the hill, you pick them up, you
But
go
now they
on the
have to
wall.
come down and turn left onto the hill.
Right.
Right, but that's, so my wife drives a bus.
So at the end of the
I have a
day, it's
little- I have a
okay. At the
little-
beginning of the day, it's not.
No, there's just a little inside scoop. My wife drives a bus. And she always tells me, yeah, that coming down the opposite way, like facing
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
Daily and
terrible
Windsor
too.
parking lot,
Yeah.
that's a tough turn.
Yeah.
But going up the hill is a breeze, according to her, and she's a school bus driver.
Yeah, I see that. Awesome. But I do see them sometimes, like,
Yeah.
go the extra way into the parking lot and kind of come at it a different way.
Anything else, Marie? Sir, I'll bet.
Thank you.
Paul Folletti, 874 Nantasket Ave. First, congratulations on the job being done on time. I think it was a big project, and you guys look like you're gonna make it. That's a good thing. The direction of traffic that we're talking about, I think everybody on Rollinson Hill agrees that we think that it should go northbound, which is a great thing. I think a year and a half ago when I got up and asked what's up with the rabbits, there's more rabbits now than there ever was before. That's just, you know, so loosen up a little bit. The bottom of Fitzpatrick, Beacon, and Nantasket Ave. Is there anything in the future? We all understand that that's a dangerous section. What we did by widening it a little bit, the telephone pole is still there. Is there anything in the works that maybe in the future we'll have that fixed? Because I know we probably eliminated a lot of trouble just by going north. Is it something that is going to happen if there's development down at the lower section of the old Kelly estate? Right now, there's just, we're all wondering, is anything going to change, or will it just stay exactly the same way it is? The other thing is, now that we've put utilities all underground on the new one-way, and we have maybe 12 feet of road, and I'm guessing it would probably have to have a 4-foot sidewalk for ADA compliance and able to go up and down the sidewalk. The good thing is the sidewalk's on the cove side, right? Not on the seawall side. It gives you a chance to dive into the marsh if something's coming at you, because the street is narrow and people like to talk on their phones. So it's a very tight spot. Lighting-wise, having no utility up above poles anymore, the street will not be lit. So the only thing there that I can see right now is we're talking about battery-operated bollards that are going to get driven into the marsh, and that would be the only lighting for that street. And how often are those bollards going to be put into the marsh? Is it every 12 feet, every 6 feet?
We're looking right now at about every 25 feet, and they have good looms to it. They can last, like I said, 10 years, and it's going to be right behind the walkway itself. So it's going to be in the vegetated strip, not in the marsh. It's going to be right behind the pavement of the walkway. So it's going to illuminate the side of the walkway and the side of the road. So it should shine light on the road itself. It's not going to be a lot of light. It's not going to be overhead street lights, but it will shine something out there for illumination.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe there were streetlights
No.
on along that stretch of Nantasket prior.
To move around. Right now, it's great, it's going one way. I'm happy we have a sidewalk, that's awesome. It's just, it's tight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you a lot of room to move if somebody is actually not paying attention and they go off the road. Because you're talking about those little flappy things?
No. They're two different things. The flappy things are the stanchions. Those are going to be on the road.
Right.
The bollards are steel.
Yeah, but those are in
those are going to, that's going to be behind the walkway, right behind the asphalt. So it's going to be a couple of feet away from the stanchion. You're going to have your walkway. On one side of the walkway is the stanchion, on the back side is going to be the bollard.
The street side is the floppy thing.
Yes.
So a car can just run them over. There's nothing there that stops anybody walking down the sidewalk. Nothing's perfect. We're just trying to get an idea of how this is going to work.
But those stanchions are going to be there all year round. They're going to come out in the wintertime for plowing, and we need to make sure that we can keep the roads clear and all that. So there's give and take in all this.
No, I understand.
Yeah, and those features were added after the fact in recognition, among staff talking about some of the concerns that you're identifying, Paul. And I think, there's always room for improvement, so we'll continue to watch it. But it's not unlike a lot of other roadway that people frequently bike and walk, and there's nothing but the white line. So we hear you, but that's why we added those features.
Sir?
Everything is good. I'm just concerned about that Fitzpatrick intersection, Nantasket Avenue, Beacon.
Yep.
Very dangerous.
To answer that question, there are no immediate plans for that, but that doesn't preclude future plans. And the traffic management plans were also shared with the potential developers of the Kelly property, so everyone is in communication.
Yep, sir?
Yeah, Gary Block, 77 Point Alton. How much does a traffic light cost?
A traffic
To put in a traffic light?
light?
Hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, I have no idea.
You mean
I think-
the pole with a light?
A traffic light at this intersection.
Well, you need a traffic light like
Red, white, or red, green, red, white, red, green.
Wouldn't that solve the issue if you put in a traffic light and control the traffic?
No.
Not
because like I
necessarily.
said, It's a horrible intersection with a line of sight there. It would have to be, like engineer Kevin said, it has to be completely redesigned there to make it much more better than it is.
Anyone else?
The way we studied it, we'd have to raise and regrade the entire intersection, which also means we have to re-raise the road for a substantial dip, section up and down the street to make it a more better situation.
You'd have to essentially add like a left turn lane, correct?
That was one of the alternatives we looked at, yep.
So it'd be quite a big bill, because you have to widen the roadway in that area, remove that pole. It's not an easy project, and it's, I don't know how much it is.
Yeah, in order to do it, you're looking at redoing, in order to do the intersection, we did do some quick calculations on what it would take. You would have to redo Nantasket Avenue down past X Street, and Fitzpatrick would go halfway to Saltwater Club, which means you'd have to raise that entire seawall to take it. So it turns out to be a much more major project than just a simple fix. And that's why it's something that has to be looked at as a bigger project down the road when you're looking at all the issues in the area.
The gentleman out back?
Jay Hanks, 40 Holbrook Ave. I went to one of the initial meetings, and I mentioned in traveling, run across many countries have stoplights that remotely set when a car is waiting. There's not a lot of traffic on there. I don't see why we couldn't try something like that, because I know they make remote things that you can put in, and when a car comes up to it, the light changes, and changes on the other side. The other side, if there happens to be a car, which doesn't happen all that often, because I drive that quite often over the last 40-some years. It would seem that if you had something like that to allow two-way traffic, that that probably would eliminate a lot of the problem at Beacon Road and Fitzpatrick Way. And I'm wondering, have you looked into that? Because I didn't see that in the presentation. It just seems to make so much sense. I mean, driving on one-way roads in Europe, they're all over the place, and oftentimes there's not even a wait to transfer the light to your way, because the roads are not that busy, and the Seawall Road is not that busy. So I can't see that there's going to be a traffic jam at one side or the other because of the volume of traffic. And it seems to make sense that it would eliminate a lot of the issues that you have, expensive issues, and I can't imagine that it costs all that much to put those in there and try it.
Perfect. Good, guys, good.
Do you want us to address the question?
Yeah, do you want to? Go ahead.
Didn't your public input say 75% wanted to go northbound?
Yes. Yes.
And that was the neighborhood that was divided. Well, everyone was divided, but that was the neighborhood, correct?
Yes.
And I think one of the other, so that option was discussed. One of the other concerns is relocating a potential issue from the end of Beacon to Nantasket and Fitzpatrick Way, because if you have cars stopped there, that's a very tight area with a number of semi-blind spots and having cars backed up.
So I'm going to try to wrap it up. Anyone else in the audience? Ma'am?
Yep. I'd just like to say that I know the telephone pole's there. I know it's been there for a long time, and we really should bury it. When I went to one of the meetings for the people that own Kelly's, all the designs that they had, they were very adamant about doing whatever the town wanted to do on that corner because they realized it was really a bad section. I even spoke to them about that. Do you realize you can't have that a one-way street for their parking lot? So that's something, whoever comes up with the next proposal, that's in there from the town, that section has to be fixed before anybody can do anything there.
Unfortunately, that project's at a standstill right now, so.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, in the future, when somebody comes that wants to buy Kelly's property, whoever owns it now, those are things that need to be done for anything to even go there. That whole corner really needs to be fixed. And if the town doesn't have the money, that's who we go to get it, the people that are going to do the work. Just make sure you keep it in your back pocket and be in your bonnet, you know?
Perfect. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up.
I didn't really get an answer here. Did you study it? If so, what are the issues about putting in a two-way automatic system?
So the challenges, again, we'd have to redo a lot of the Fitzpatrick Way, which as part of this project cannot be done with the existing funds. It's something that was considered, but at the end of the day, you'd have to redo a lot more infrastructure that as part of this project, we couldn't do.
And the infrastructure that's on the ground right now is very tight. We had a lot of difficulties with what we did put on the ground. There's not a lot of room for anything in there. We had a lot of issues with what we did place on the ground. So getting things on the ground right now, anything else is just difficult. That's why we're looking at solar lights and not wired lights, but also to actually have a waiting station on Fitzpatrick to turn in. There's not enough room on the road. Even before the wall went up, there was not enough room on Fitzpatrick to make that turn.
Jen, you want to end it?
Yeah, so when the board's ready, I can summarize the recommended changes. You could take that as one motion or individual motions if you like.
Great. So entertain a motion.
So the recommended changes are, and let me know if anything's in doubt, the one-way traffic should flow northbound on Nantasket Avenue towards Pemberton Point along the seawall. Change the speed limit to 20 miles an hour along the one-way portion of Nantasket Avenue along the seawall. Change the speed limit to 25 miles per hour along Fitzpatrick Way. And the traffic control pattern at XYZ parking area Nantasket, Fitzpatrick Way, Base of Beacon should remain as currently is.
Perfect.
Is.
That it?
I think that's all.
Entertaining.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, I had a question. Sorry, I'm going to stop doing questions. Can you show the slide that shows the intersection of Point Allerton and Nantasket?
Sure.
I'm confused at the sidewalk why there is a stop sign there.
I think that one's off. We'll have to either turn that or that monitor off.
Excuse me?
I'm confused at the stop sign on Nantasket Avenue. The purpose of it. Is there a way to get this slide?
Yeah, come on, we're checking. So are you talking this sidewalk here?
Yeah. Why is there a stop sign in Nantasket Avenue?
So, two reasons. One is you're now going from 25 miles an hour on a two-way road into either the intersection or into a one lane going at 20 miles an hour. But the other thing is the crosswalk right there is new, and it's at a bus stop. So we're trying to bring people's attention to everything in the neighborhood. So there's a big...
You're not allowed to hit people.
Yes.
And we know that because we drive through all the traffic at the beach and we don't hit people in sidewalks. It just seems redundant. You can't hit. You have to stop when somebody's in the sidewalk. And it doesn't seem like there's a good reason to have a stop sign there.
It's to allow the traffic to stop so you can see what's coming. It's so you're not just driving right up It's a
Coming
new-
from where?
Driving right up through Point Allerton without looking.
So both directions, by stopping the traffic in both directions at that intersection, it helps make that intersection that much safer.
But when you're
It's to your
driving up
benefit.
to it, you're taking a right, so you're not going to hit anybody on the left.
But you may not be.
Yes, but if you're
Folks, we
You could be continuing.
Folks, we kind of already ended. I'm trying to get everybody in, please, but we already voted and what have you. So, Marie, very quickly.
I think I can help her understand if you stop, one of the things that was brought up at one of the older meetings a long time ago was how narrow Point Allerton Ave is, where it feeds into Nantasket, where the new rain garden is. So as you're coming north and you're taking a right onto Point Allerton Ave, you would have to cross over into the oncoming traffic lane to make that turn because it was so narrow. Is that what we're, I mean, that's what.
You don't have to cross over.
What you did before, so that's what I'm just saying.
Right. So what's going on is that telephone pole. That telephone pole made people cross over because it leaned out at the curve.
Yeah.
By extending the intersection down, the telephone pole's up there, you're going to go right by it, you're not even going to see it. So you stop here to make sure that people coming down, you can have a clear vision going around before you travel. And you can also see what's coming up here because you're going to have people walking. I have people walking and biking through there now. Even though it's not officially open, they're doing it already. So there's going to be a lot of people on foot. We're trying to make it safe for the neighborhood and safe for all people using this.
Perfect. Okay.
Brian, can I ask you a real quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this going to be posted on the town website? Is this
Yes.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if it is up now, but we can add it.
And can I also ask you to repeat the approved
Motion? One-way traffic northbound along Nantasket Avenue along the seawall. Reduce speed limit at 20 miles per hour along the seawall. Reduce the speed limit to 25 miles along Fitzpatrick Way. And then keep the traffic pattern the same at the end of Beacon, Nantasket.
Perfect. Okay. Everybody happy? Good. So I'm going to move right along. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it very much. Hopefully everybody's questions got answered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just one request. We have Attorney Goldberg with us this evening. Would the board entertain taking number 4 in discussions ahead of the other items?
Any issues against that? No?
Nope, go right away. The revote?
Okay, so 4. So it's... So Laurie West, Board of Registers ex officio, regarding request to appoint Paul Grader as temporary registrar, Republican, for annual town election, HRA 3-year seat recount on June 27th, 2026, which is coming up Saturday morning. Okay, so I actually have a disclosure. So give me a minute, please. So I hereby disclose pursuant to General Law, Chapter 268A, subsection 23B3, that I have a business relationship with Mr. Grader, who is a candidate for appointment as a temporary town registrar. I have no financial interest in this appointment, his service as a temporary registrar, or with regard to who serves as an elected member of the Redevelopment Authority. Here, the board is being asked by the town clerk to appoint a Republican temporary registrar to ensure a full complement of registrars for the recount with appropriate party representation. I understand that there are limited persons willing to serve in this capacity, and further that Mr. Grader has previously assisted in a recount and therefore has some experience. If I support the appointment, Mr. Grader it will be because I have determined that such temporary appointment is in the best interest of the town and not on the basis of any personal or business relationship with Mr. Grader. Like, oof, got done. So, just also too, is I want to make sure that the town knows, I did not bring up Mr. Grader's name to do this. This came from the Republican Town Committee. Is that correct, Laurie?
Correct, from the chair.
Yeah. So, didn't come from Brian McCarthy.
Correct.
correct, thank you. So I just want to make it clear. So, I'll open up to any questions, or we'll include,
maybe start with
include.
Brian, we'll start with Laurie first.
Okay, sure, Laurie, go ahead.
Sure, I
Yep.
think
I was just going to introduce
Chair
her.
just
Yep.
pretty much summarized the request for this evening. And as the board was notified earlier, there has been a petition that was filed for a recount, a hand recount of the ballots cast at the annual town election for the seat of the Hull Redevelopment Authority for the 3 years, and which is now, the Board of Registrars had scheduled that for this coming Saturday. And due to the unavailability of Catherine Mahoney, who is the Town of Hull Board of Registrar for the Republican Party, she's just unable to come. At the meeting held by Board of Registrars on June 8th, we voted to request the select board to appoint a temporary
Okay,
board
great,
registrar.
great.
And that's what we're respectfully asking for this evening.
Just for clarification, then, both the Democratic Town Committee and the Republican Town Committee recommend someone for appointment?
We were at our meeting. The Democratic Party is already represented by 2 sitting members, and who will be in attendance.
So, Laura, can you just describe how this works? How many people go?
Thank
How
you.
many people monitor? Like, how does this whole thing work? I'm just curious.
I am going to defer this to our special counsel. I think she could probably
Perfect.
sum it up perfectly for us. And this is Lauren Goldberg.
Okay.
Good evening, members of the board, and thank you, and Madam Town Clerk, and thank you for having me. Essentially, what is being requested is the appointment of a temporary registrar to serve for the purposes of the recount only. Registrars are appointed, as you are aware, on the basis of party. There can be no more than 2 members from any one party. The registrar who represents the Republican Party will be unavailable on the day of the recount, and therefore the Board of Registrars, including the town clerk, have voted to ask that you appoint someone as a temporary registrar. That person has to be from the party of the absent registrar, in this case a Republican, with the idea that both parties will be represented at the recount. There is no requirement that notice be given to the town committees like there would be for a permanent appointment. Again, this is just a temporary appointment solely for the purpose of the recount to ensure that the Republican Party is represented and that there's a full complement of registrars.
Earl?
Could you, thank you for that. Could you explain the role? Are they there as observers, or are they actually counting ballots?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The registrars essentially act as judges at the recount. They are not involved in actually counting the ballots or making initial calls as to how a ballot should be counted. That work is done by teams of recount workers. If the recount worker makes a call that the observers or the candidate doesn't like, they can protest that call or object to that call, and then the ballot is taken up to the Board of Registrars. The Board of Registrars then hears arguments from both candidates or their attorneys so that they know what the legal issues are that are being placed before them. And then the Board of Registrars discusses how they feel the ballot should be counted. In a recount, the ballot's supposed to be counted in the way that it reflects the will of the voters. And if they can't tell what the will of the voter is, then they have to call it a blank. So the temporary registrar would be just one member of the board, and they would be acting, they're at an open meeting, they would be acting through out loud discussion like you're having right now to consider how a particular ballot should be counted based on what it was counted on at the table, and then with the arguments from both candidates or their representatives.
Kerry?
So question, you mentioned Republican and Democrat parties. So is a total of 4 people as acting as judges, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chair, through you again.
Yes.
Thank you. The town clerk is an ex officio member of the board, and there are 3 other members or 3 other positions. The town clerk's position can be an unenrolled position. The other positions are supposed to be party representatives. Again, for a permanent appointment, and you might recall this, that there's notice given to each of the party committees, and then they have a certain amount of time, 45 days, to come back with a list of at least 3 candidates who'd be willing to serve, and then it's up to the select board to choose from amongst them. That process here doesn't apply, and so it's typical for if a board of registrars, town clerk want to have a temporary registrar appointed, it's required by statute that they meet and make that request. It's not unusual in the case of a recount that a clerk and the board of registrars will seek to have a temporary registrar appointed to ensure that a full board is possible. You know, keeping our fingers crossed that everyone is well and will be able to be present on Saturday. It is always a possibility that someone can't show up for some reason. We need a quorum at least, and that is 3 members.
Great. Susan?
So how many people will be in the room counting the ballots?
Mr. Chair, through you.
Yes, please.
A lawyer's favorite answer, it depends. There will be 5 teams of 2 recount workers who are reading and recording votes. So there's those people, and then there's 1 total tally clerk. And then, so that's 11 people who will be working at the recount, reading and writing with respect to the information on the ballots. The candidates are entitled to 1 observer for each person reading or writing. So each of them also gets those people, they're allowed to view each one. So there could be a significant number of people in the recount area, and my understanding is that's why it's not being held at Town Hall, so that there's more space. There's also space that is required for the public to be able to witness the recount. This entire process takes place in the open, and everyone has the ability to observe. So we will have several people that are allowed inside what's called the guardrail, similar to election night, where there's people that are, you know, we can put a real guardrail, or it might be tape or a piece of string, whatever it might be, and the public can stay outside of that area. The people that are working for the registrars and the clerk can come inside that area. Each candidate can come inside the area, and then any designated representative from the candidate, an observer, or the attorney, and the candidate's required to provide the town clerk with a list of those people, and only those people can come inside the recount area.
Okay. Any other questions? Laura?
I will just add that we will also have an officer on, during the recount.
A police officer? Yeah.
Yes, a
Okay.
police officer.
Anybody else from the board? Yes.
Susan Berlia, 17 East Street. I'm the person who was called for this. And I want to make sure that you've all received my letter because...
Email?
I'm sorry?
Your email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my email.
yeah.
Because this particular person to be chosen for this, as you heard from the lawyer, this person will be one of 4 judges. And there are public comments that have been made by this person who may be open to some biases. And so I'm concerned about that.
Okay. Do you have representation that's going there? So...
Yeah, so we'll go over it, but, you know, the appointment of this particular person is a concern.
So do you have a representation, or you have a lawyer? Okay. Jerry?
So I just want to make the point, again, in the interest of full transparency and disclosure, I play softball under this person. He is my general manager. There is no financial ties.
You don't get paid?
I don't get paid a nickel. Every few years I get a new T-shirt. That's the extent of it. But you also referenced the Hull Heartbeat podcast that we did with this person, right? And some of the comments made there. So, you know, that's something I'm involved with. Again, there's no financial benefit at all with any of that. So the only thing I would say is that it sounds like, based on the process described, that this is open to the public. These people are judges overseeing up to 10 different people doing the actual counting. So I do understand your concerns, but I do disagree that this person would act in an unethical way in that situation with all those eyes on him. That's just my opinion.
Mine as well.
Yeah, I think for full disclosure, if you're suggesting that Mr. Grata has biases that could get in the way of his being nonpartisan in this, I think it's appropriate for you to tell us what those biases are that you believe he has.
I said there's potential for bias based on his public comments.
Such as?
What I said in the email.
So what you said in the email is his public comments about opinions he has about the HRA site and development. I thought a lot about that, and I think in the last, this has been going on for 60 years, you would be hard-pressed to find somebody in town who does not have an opinion about what should happen at the HRA. And this is also not about whether he agrees with you or disagrees with you. He's there to oversee a count with a lot of other people in the room. So I don't see, I read your letter very carefully. I don't see how that would or should have any impact on whether or not we appoint Mr. Grata.
Thank you. Great.
I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay, make a
Mr.
motion.
Chairman, I would make a motion to appoint Paul Grata as temporary registrar, Republican, for annual town election, HRA 3-year seat recount on June 27th, 2026.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do we want to go back, Jen, to number?
Yeah.
One.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
So it's number one, this approval. So request to paint crosswalk at Nantasket Ave and Hull Veterans Memorial, Mountford, red, white, and blue for USA 250. Dan, is it Dan? Yeah. Is it Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Yeah. This gentleman's the proponent. Yeah.
Good evening, Dan Lamke, 2 M Street. I'm not with any group. I'm just a family man, Hull native, and I thought it was a cool patriotic idea for our town to get involved more and celebrate USA's 250th independence. So I thought it'd be really cool to have a red, white, and blue crosswalk right by the Veterans War Memorial down by Cumbies. It's something that United One, get everyone behind the cool idea and show pride and celebrate our nation's history. I've already done a lot of the lead work. I've got a quote from a paving company that's been recommended by the Hull Police, Markings Inc. They provided a quote. They're available and willing to do the work even before July 4th, although it may be tough to get the funds in order by then, but I'm optimistic. If it was approved by the select board, I would work with the Hull Police and arrange for a police detail. I've done some research into any kind of legal issues related to this. I can't find anything that would suggest that the crosswalk becomes an unenforceable crosswalk after this. As far as I can find for anything, with the federal, state regulations, if you have the white transverse lines that go across, and they're not interfered with, and it's not advertising, and you're not encouraging people to stand in the crosswalk or distracting, then it's a crosswalk, it's enforceable, just like any other crosswalk we have in town. And there's been, I've looked into some safety concerns that could be raised. The best I can find is a Bloomberg Philanthropies 22 study. They actually found a 50% drop in crashes in colored arc crosswalks, and a 27% increase in drivers yielding to pedestrians. I thought that was interesting. And so I'm proposing a design that meets all the requirements to have a colored crosswalk. There are many towns all across the state, including our own. And if that location wasn't acceptable, we'll be open to other locations, like maybe around L Street. And I welcome anyone to support this or to speak on it. Here's a brief little design of what I think it might look like. Red, blue, the white compliant border. Just an example I got around. And yeah, I'd be happy to discuss this further.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
So yeah, just quickly, Mr. Lampe did approach me with this idea. I did submit it forward to the board. I am in full support. I think it's a great idea. In Hingham, you see, I lived in Hingham for 19 years. You see, during the 4th of July, the parade route is, the center line is painted red, white, and blue. And it's just a really cool, again, patriotic feature in and around the 4th of July. The only question I would have is obviously there's got to be a expected time frame that the paint would last, and then it would have to obviously be repainted back, right? Just curious if you have any idea what that...
I don't know how long it would go. I've seen stuff say a year, but I think it's going to vary based on just the general wear and tear, any kind of crosswalk we have around.
Okay, awesome. And then the only question I had is if the chief of police had any input on his thoughts on this, and if it was any violations that you could see, or if there were any issues with it?
Well, it's similar to Mr. McCann's in the audience. He submitted a proposal in 2021 for the rainbow crosswalk, and I submitted a report back then. Mr. Lampe's right. Around the country, there's a lot of rainbow crosswalks around the country, but the big caveat that I get from other chiefs, and also when we reference the manual uniform traffic control devices from the National Highway Transportation, is that they do not like multi-colors for aesthetics. They prefer one solid color with the dividing lines, the white borders, and the dividing white bars through it. I did issue that recommendation to the board at the time that we did not believe we would be able to enforce crosswalks that were colored that way, unless they were colored the way we have it. Number two, we just finished painting all our crosswalks in town, and the bill usually is between $25,000 and $30,000 to paint every year. We paint the crosswalks every year.
Do you have a per crosswalk estimate? It can't be more than, I would guess, a couple thousand, 25.
No, it's not by that. It's they come out for a minimum of $2,500. So for the one crosswalk, they would charge Mr. Lamke, Dan, what was it, $2,700, I think?
It was about $2,250 for the painting of the crosswalk, and then the police detail is $260. So I think all in
about $2,500.
$2,500 for.
They won't come out for anything less than that. So when they come out, they do it over 2 nights on the midnight shift. That's when you wake up in the morning to see all the new paintings done. It's a little sporadic right now because of all the work going on. When companies come in and rip up our roads, part of their deal after they pave it is to repaint it. But that's a high-level crosswalk area for us. High transportation is probably one of our top 3 busiest crosswalks in the town, where he's proposing to do that. I would recommend that you do authorize it. I recommend that we keep the crosswalks the way they are right now. If we start allowing more and more different recommendations, we're going to start having different people come in at different times of year. We're going to St. Patrick's Day, we're going to paint them green. Well, the Halloween, we're going to paint them orange. And I just think we should keep the town crosswalks the way they are.
And if I may add to that, Mr. Chairman, so Dan, thank you for the recommendation. I think it's a cool idea. Obviously, we have a lot of red, white, and blue going on around town, but as the chief noted, that is one of the most heavily trafficked, both pedestrian, bike, and vehicular locations. But what I really wanted to point out, the difference between the Pride crosswalk and this particular crosswalk, and the chief had noted this in his memo back in 2021, I believe, was that where in Ken Burma, that's a signaled crosswalk. And so it has the ability, where it's not at the monument in Nantasket. And so that's in my mind's eye, that's a big difference.
It's a traffic control device there.
Right.
It's a great point, and I think it should be, your advice obviously should be taken. The traffic light, extremely critical point. So you must have a second choice, A Street, the firehouse.
A Street, L Street by the field, I'd be open to those as well. But I just want to jump back on, since it is a highly trafficked area, I think it's a wide assumption to assume that a colored crosswalk that's red and blue and white therefore makes it less safe. The only data that exists right now is it actually makes it safer.
Right.
So it seems kind of speculative.
Right, and so as a good compromise, though, the chief brings up a valid point. That does not have a traffic light on it, and, that's his recommendation. And yeah, but I'm just saying there's other options, right? Yeah. There's no reason we couldn't pick another location that does have a signal.
No, I just thought it made sense because it's by the war monument, but I'd be open to L Street, A Street, somewhere.
Yeah. Susan?
I love the idea, especially near the war monument. Right. I think that's really special. What about, I don't know if it's considered Samoset on the other side of the war monument. There is a crosswalk there, and there is a stop sign there.
Samoset begins, whatever you're talking about.
Right. Would that be a location that you would feel more comfortable?
There's traffic control device there.
But there is a stop sign.
That's typically a continuation of that pedestrian, bike traffic as well. So when you're crossing over Nantasket, right, to the beach,
Well, just
over at
when they're done.
DCR lots. And then also, we're in the process of repaving Samoset, and so I don't know how close, I mean, if that's the beginning of Samoset.
They give us a 3-week time frame, I think, estimate
Yep.
for.
Oh, for when they're going to be doing the work.
Well, they've started.
Yes.
They've already
Yeah.
started
Okay.
down on the roads, both Manamet and Samoset. They're not all the way up to that area yet, but they're doing pretty good progress each day.
Greg, then Jerry.
Well, I just wanted to share, I love the idea of the crosswalk, but I think a better spot, only because we have a celebration coming August 15th. If you did do L Street, our parade ends at L Street. We have a gala day at L Street, and with it being further into town, more townspeople get to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
So the parade wouldn't start till like Revere.
Yeah, and then it's going to end at L.
The parade would start. It'd line up.
Well, end.
Yeah, it would end at L.
With
Well,
little-
end, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd literally walk right over it.
Right, we kind of,
That would be- yeah.
It's a fitting spot, like the marathon, and it's yellow crosswalk in Boston.
Yeah.
So I'd like to make a motion, if I could, to approve the request for a painted crosswalk at either L Street or A Street, and that could be a collaboration between the applicant and the chief of police and the town manager, but one of those two locations, that makes the most sense, as quickly as possible before the 4th of July celebrations, only because it is the 250th celebration, and it is a very special time.
Any seconds?
Just have one question before that. Mr. Lamke, are you funding this personally, or
I would be assisting in gathering funds and contributing myself.
So
I
you'd
don't know if
be-
I carry the whole thing, but
you'd be raising funds for it?
my plan was to, this sort of just came about like a week or two ago, so there's not a lot of planning in terms of the funding yet, but I was figuring once it was approved here, that I could post in like Call Happenings or something, one of the groups, and talk to people around town and get, contributions and hopefully get it funded, as soon as possible.
So you're not asking the town to cover the cost as well?
So I'm asking, it'd be awesome if they did. I know there's also a whole 250th committee, which jokingly told me it's a $1 million budget, but I think he was joking about that.
That was a joke.
So if they had any funds for that, there'd be some kind of a 250th thing to add to it, but if not, then we'll compare it to,
I'm sure they would make a contribution. I would be happy to as well.
thank you. Yeah, anyone wants to make contributions to it?
Did you reach out to your dad for a donation? or- Now that it's public? Jen, quickly?
Yeah, that was a concern, if it's funded or not, and then the availability and the timing. So if the board were to approve this, I would say that, request that it be conditioned upon the funding being available for it, and obviously the timing, and that there be a limit on this crosswalk, that once it fades, it's repainted back to the original yellow crosswalk.
Yep.
I have a comment related to that. Why does it have to go back? Why can't we leave it red, white, and blue? Next time you paint it, you just repaint it. It's probably cheaper than trying to make it white or black or whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a red, white, and blue
Yep. So,
sidewalk, that crosswalk in our town.
so my preference would be L Street, so it goes on to over A Street.
I was going to second his motion, but with just L Street.
And with her edits.
And with the added about the funds coming from somewhere else besides the town.
So my only concern with this is a citizen volunteer-led initiative that is pretty noble, right? You might not agree with it, and that's fine. But I don't think it makes sense to double the cost of what's intended here by making this person repaint it back to its original state when we periodically repaint and repave these. So that's my question is,
Every year, every May to June.
so every May it's done either way?
Between May and June.
And if it fades a little bit between now and then, it's not the end of the world, right? And when it gets repainted next, then that should be sufficient, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was part of either one of our motions.
Well, I think the town manager suggested I get
No,
repainted back.
No, I did not.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you would...
No, and I just want to clarify, a faded crosswalk is a concern, because there are, important, especially in that area.
Because the whole pride pays for the total cost. It took a couple years to get everything in motion, but they pay, even now, they're ready to redo it again at their cost. So they do.
Right, different animal, right? They've decided they're going to maintain that.
Right.
This is a situation where it's a one-time thing. it's going to be painted with good quality materials that should last a long time, but we're going to repaint next year anyways, and it should be okay.
Let's talk about repainting.
Well-
Is repainting referring to the white transverse lines or the whole, if it's I'm not sure what else it looks like right now, but if it's black pavement, which isn't painted anyways, versus, is it?
I wouldn't say it's yellow.
I think it's yellow.
It is?
I think it's
Should be
yellow.
yellow, yeah.
I don't think it's
Yellow
yellow.
on the Centric part. I don't know if L Street itself is yellow. Not all of them are yellow.
Well, I'm thinking Nantasket, sorry.
If it's just the white lines, it would be just a simple matter of
Just the white?
getting rid of the red, white, and blue.
Yep.
Why would you just paint the white?
Right.
You keep it, like you wouldn't paint the street black, like it would be.
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking L Street at Nantasket. The crosswalk across Nantasket, not L Street. Let's make sure we're talking about the
Yeah,
same.
so
oh,
it's
correct.
it's a diagonal, with 2 white stripes. That's all it is right now.
Camelia?
You're talking about the one in front of L Street Deli, right?
Yeah, it's just diagonal with white stripes.
Go ahead.
Amelia Block, 77 Point Alberton Avenue. I would be more than happy, Mr. Lampy, to help you in any fundraising.
Thank you.
Whether it be for a specific period of time or to maintain it going forward.
Thank you. Appreciate
All
that.
right. So,
Sorry, just one last point of clarification for the board, because the reason for the recommendation that it be repainted back to its original state is that it's sort of the law of unintended consequences, right? This, and Jason, I think, could attest to this. One of the concerns, and I don't believe there was ever a policy developed, was once you, and it's just like a flag policy, once you allow one, you're going to open yourself up to other requests. And, you know, in this case, it's the 250th. I think that could be substantiated and for a short duration of time, but that was the reason for the recommendation.
so does someone,
I just wanted to pick up on what Jen said. I, oddly enough, was contacted by a resident who used the Pride crosswalk as an example of wanting to you paint another crosswalk for a different purpose. So I think there's a lot of validity to what you're saying.
Yeah, but we've already opened up that can of worms, haven't we?
Yeah, is there one or two? I think there's one at the high school also.
Yes, one at the high school.
That's the whole point. And so now we're at a point where we should be allowing.
okay.
Be careful what you...
Camelia, once again?
Well, I would just ask the select board to consider it be permanent. Again, I would suggest that, given that there has been precedent set. And I realize you've opened a can of worms, but it's just.
Yep. So I see some compromise here. So does someone, one of you guys want to just button up your motion?
I have made a motion to accept the request as listed on the agenda for a painted crosswalk at Nantasket Ave, but instead of the Veterans Memorial, it would be at L Street, again, going from L Street Field across Nantasket Ave to the corner of where L Street Pizza is, right? That main intersection, which in theory is the end of the parade route this year, right?
Yeah.
I would be 100%, but that's a different ask from you if it was to remain and be maintained. I'm certainly open to that. I think it's a really cool feature, but that would be...
That can always be revisited, yeah.
That would be different. That would require fundraising on a more extended basis, right?
As needed, I guess.
Yeah. It might need to be painted every year or every 2 years or something like that.
All right, that's a long second, possibly. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to amend that motion so that it specified that it's done with private funds.
Okay.
Agreed. I can agree with that.
We're done? Okay.
And I'll still second it.
And you'll
with the
second it.
changes.
All right, I think we're ready for a vote?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dan, good luck.
Great idea.
Thanks for the compromise. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
L Street it is.
We could just, sorry if this is not on the agenda, but everyone's getting alerts on their phone about the missing person. He's been located.
Oh, great, great. That's great news. Yeah, yep.
I like that.
Oh, that's so
Okay, moving right along, approvals. So Nantasket Beach Saltwater Club, Inc., doing business as Nantasket Beach Saltwater Club, 3 Fitzpatrick Way, Nicole Laundrigan, manager, one-day entertainment license for live music at Mariners Park on Saturday, June 27th, 2026, from 12 noon until 6 p.m. for the blessing of the fleet. If I don't, any comments or anything? If not?
Do I have to disclose?
I was just going to say, do we have to go through all these disclosures again? How many?
Remember?
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you want to shorten it up.
Out of abundance of caution, I want to disclose this evening that I am a member of the Nantasket Beach Saltwater Club. That being said, I believe I can deliberate with fairness and impartiality on this discussion item and action before us.
Boy, I'm disclosing a lot tonight. Out of an abundance of caution, I want to disclose this evening that I am a member of the Saltwater Club. That being said, I believe I can deliberate with fairness and impartiality on this discussion item and action before us. Keep that in your pocket.
Everyone's got one.
Greg,
As an abundance of caution, I'd like to say I'm not a member of the Saltwater Club, and I'd like to move to approve.
Seconded.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Great. Okay, so USA 250th Anniversary Committee. Laurie.
So following up on all this positivity for the 250th, US 250th celebration, the chair was unable to attend this evening, so I will do my best in place as vice chair. So I think we're talking about the parade route. I guess before we get into that, I did provide you via email earlier today, as well as this evening, just a flyer that we are going to be posting out, and it's really just with the theme, 4 great events, 1 amazing summer, and some of the events that are coming up that we hope that everybody will have an opportunity to at least attend one of them, is beginning with July 11th from Steel Day at Fort Revere. Wednesday, July 15th is Charleston Ship Excursions, which has had an amazing, just an overwhelming support and just enthusiasm about joining it. We are sold out of 2 of our cruises. There is a 10 a.m. and a 1 p.m., not 1 a.m., 1 p.m. excursion that is still available, but tickets are limited, so be sure to they are being offered Monday through Thursday, just so that we have to monitor the quantity.
Laurie, how many people, just curious, on each cruise?
Our goal was 150.
You can carry that many people, huh? Wow.
Comfortably, I'll say. Yep, so those 2 are still left, again, with limited tickets. Saturday, July 18th is our community fireworks.
So, Laurie, that's a Tuesday. You're saying, I'm talking about the parade route on Saturday, August 18th. Can we vote on that, knowing that it's the wrong date, or?
No, that is correction. That was just a simple typo.
No problem.
With the July 18th and the August 15th.
Yeah, that's.
Yep, so that's just a Scrivener's error.
Okay, just.
So it's the
procedurally, though, we can vote on this tonight, even though there's a typo?
Yes,
Okay.
I think it's Scribner's. It's August 15th. It also refers further in this item to August 15th.
Yeah, one of the beer truck?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Anything else, Laurie?
No, so if you want to just move on for the parade route, which is a very rough draft that was included in that packet,
Page 2,
which
Brian.
was discussed earlier. That will be starting, there's a lineup that is starting at 9 a.m. There has already been a great sign up for a lot of participants, and we have put that out there. So any local groups or anybody that wants to participate as walkers or getting a float involved, we encourage it and welcome it. And so the parade will start off at Revere Street and travel along Nantasket Avenue, ending up at N Street and L Street Field, followed by a field day, as Greg mentioned, for a whole gala event of all kinds of activities. And there'll be a beer garden that we're requesting for the license this evening, and it's a band, entertainment, all kinds of fun stuff. So.
Okay, so you're asking us to walk 1.3 miles? All right, I'm gonna have to start exercising more.
I did do the measurement, so the parade that goes from the high school to the cemetery, which unfortunately we weren't able to have this year, that's 1.2. So it's just
Okay, I can make it then.
Silly question.
Greg?
Do I have to recuse myself because I'm on the committee? Okay.
There's no financial.
All right, okay, all right.
So I'll entertain a
Motion to approve.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
So are we voting on all these things or just the parade right now?
Parade.
Just the parade? Okay.
So I made the motion to approve.
Okay, second?
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Laurie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
She's not done.
There's a few things on just the licenses that are coming before you on the one day.
Okay.
Before you start on the licenses, will we at some point have to vote on the fireworks that are going to be on July 18th as a town?
I don't think it's up.
No?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. No.
No, thank you.
Okay, moving right along. David Kellum, doing business as assisted living van. Yep, yep.
Apologize for interrupting.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I ask you a quick question
Yep.
of the Jeep? Andrew Thorburn, 42 Holford Gap. We were talking about crosswalks. Could you explain to me how the new crosswalk lights are handled by motorists? The old ones, red light, green light, blue, yellow, you know how to do it. But the blinking lights, what is my responsibility as a motorist other than not killing someone in the crosswalk? When can I go? When they're out of the crosswalk, but do I wait for the lights to stop blinking?
Where are you speaking, where are you talking?
Well, there's numerous, there's one at Vittles, there's the blinking cross, yeah, I think there's a couple of them in town, but that's
The ones
the,
by Riddles, as soon as the space is clear, you can drive through the crosswalk.
Yeah.
respectfully, is that the law, or you're just telling me it's okay? I'm a licensed CDL driver, I can't afford to get a ticket for a crosswalk.
As long as the crosswalk is there, you can reverse it. The only ones that are different, that's why I asked, are the ones where there's a traffic control.
Correct. Those are easy to figure out, pretty obvious. Right. Thank you.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
No problem. So I'll start over. David Kellum, doing business as assisted living band 2 Marina Drive. Dave Kellum, manager, regarding a one-day entertainment license for live music at HRA Lot on Saturday, July 18, 2026, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a one-day concert. Any questions, concerns?
Motion to approve. And I would just add that when he's done, that's when the fireworks go off.
Correct. You did great, by the way. Laurie?
We are requesting that the fee be waived, as this is a co-sponsored event.
Does that need to be included in the motion? Gary?
Motion to approve with the fee waived, since it's a co-sponsored event.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Great. All right. You didn't say aye.
The last couple times, you haven't said aye the last
No, I
couple
said
times.
aye, but yes, I
Get
did.
your head in the game.
All right. So we're all ayes?
Yes.
All right, good. Moving right along, Vitamin C Brewing, LLC, doing business as Vitamin C Brewing, 30 Moore Road, Weymouth, Mass. Dino Funari, manager, regarding one-day alcohol and entertainment license at 1 Hull Shore Drive, Hull Shore Common, on Saturday, July 18th, 2026, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 250th anniversary of the United States.
Motion to approve with the fee waived, since it's a co-sponsored event.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful. Again, Vitamin C Brewing LLC, doing business as Vitamin C Brewing, 3 Moore Road, Weymouth, Mass. Dino Funari, manager, regarding one-day alcohol and entertainment license at Sturgis Field at M Street Tennis Court on Saturday, August 15th, 2026, from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. for 250th anniversary of the United States.
Motion to approve with the fee waived, because it's a co-sponsored event.
And I'll second it, and I'd like to thank Dino for stepping up to do this. It's not an easy one to do, and he did it in a heartbeat.
Excellent. Motion's been made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Great. Let's see, so we did the Paul Grata, what was that?
Number 5.
Okay, 5, yep. Elementary parent
Jen
teacher.
has something.
What's that?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just, before we move on, I know those were the 250th events. I just want to acknowledge Lori West and the efforts that she has put into organizing the 250ths. Yes, she's, and no offense, Greg, a member of a committee, but I think she's shouldering a lot of the work.
As the vice chair.
For this, so.
As the vice chair. Fantastic.
As she said earlier, one great summer, 4 great events, and we hope that all of these events
Great.
are uplifting this summer, so.
Laurie, any final comments? No.
I think that the community needs these uplifting events and positivity in the town, and I hope that everybody has an opportunity. The community hopes that everybody has an opportunity to participate, and just nationwide in celebration of America's 250th. So, like you said, it's one small town, but big celebrations, and it's something for us to really be proud of.
I already got my tickets for
The fly is really great, and the events are really good, and, you know,
Perfect.
I think you're right, very well received.
Thank you. Well said, too, by the way. Yep. Okay. Elementary parent-teacher, PTO, color run request for road closure between 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Saturday, June 27th, 2026.
Doesn't say where it is.
Was there supposed to be something in these boxes?
I don't even know what you're looking at.
It's a redaction.
Yeah.
It's a redaction of some sort.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe the map was in here or something.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to approve with all safety requirements.
Chief, you got something to say? Yep.
But he can.
Yeah, I spoke to my detail sergeant. He has not heard back from the team regarding what he recommended. He recommended her to have 3 detail officers. Normally what they do is they walk from the high school down Main Street onto Spring Street, and then they loop around. They normally walk on the sidewalk. They loop around Spring Street, go down Ocean Ave, and back out on the Main Street. It's like a big loop. They do it pretty much every year. But we do want to close the roads, and that's one part of the road where Spring Street is closed off. And then we have vehicles that follow them just to make sure they're safe.
Okay. Great.
We referred her to go to you regarding getting the road closure, because we obviously don't have that authority.
Okay.
So that's what the sergeant referred them to come to you first.
Okay, great.
I'll still go with my motion.
What's that?
My motion still stands to approve.
Okay.
With the caveat for us to shut the road for their request.
So my only concern is there's no details on the road unless it's in the packet here somewhere on what roads they're closing.
Chief just said.
I know he detailed them, but it's not. There's no map.
In your, what she mailed you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in, okay. Yep. All right, so Greg made a motion. Did we have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, none. Perfect. All right, moving right along. Select Board appoint a representative, one, to the Waterfront Access Advisory Committee, and 2, Capital Improvement Planning Committee. So each one needs a either a liaison, or are these voting? I think the capital planning is.
I want to say yes
Thanks,
to the
Chief.
capital planning. I have to double check on the Waterfront Access Advisory Committee.
I think it is. So the Waterfront Access Committee was Greg was on it with me.
Yes.
Because I was the representative from Beach Management Advisory Committee, and Greg was the representative from Park and Rec.
Yep.
And that was a planning board study committee when we did the study on the waterfront access. Then the committee transitioned to being an advisory committee to the select board. So I think it still has the same structure, and everybody was a voting member on the committee. So Jason was the representative. That's why there's spots open.
Correct.
I have given up my spot from the Beach Management Advisory Committee, and another member from Beach Management Advisory has taken that spot. So I'm willing to serve from the select board if no one else is interested.
And that's the Waterfront?
Waterfront.
Advisory, okay.
So I'm on there as Park and Rec, as she stated, and I would make a motion to appoint Susan to that committee.
Seconded.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, perfect. Capital Improvement Planning Committee. I know they're doing a lot of good work. Carl Katz, the chairman, actually reached out to Jen and I a couple of weeks ago. Anybody got any interest?
I would recommend Jerry, just because he has that kind of background in construction and things like that, and projects and stuff like that. And from what I have seen, I've gone to a couple of their meetings, I have seen that that's the kinds of things they're talking about and stuff like that. So I'd recommend Jerry if he's
Thank you, Susan.
Simple question. What night are their meetings?
Oh.
Make sure it's not
Oh,
Tuesday.
I don't know.
They have They have been typically Tuesday.
What time?
6, I believe?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Are they every Tuesday?
No, not every Tuesday.
Well, maybe they can.
It depends on the
If we
timing.
go to
of the
Tuesday, maybe they can bounce back and forth.
Well, we have to have a liaison either way, right?
It's not a liaison, it's a bylaw,
Even-
it's a bylaw committee.
Yeah, even more
And you're-
important, you know. And I hate to say it, I know we're going to talk about this rescheduling select board nights, but there has to be some flexibility with all these other boards, you know. I know planning board's another big one on Wednesday nights, but there are multiple meetings on Tuesday nights, there's other meetings on Monday nights, so I'm not sure what the answer is, but so are we talking like every other Tuesday night type of thing?
Usually not. Sometimes when we're in this budget season.
How many people are on this committee?
I want to say 9.
9 people?
9. I think
And what's
so.
the charge of the committee
To
specifically?
make recommendations on the 5-year capital plan.
Okay. Yeah, I would be interested, and I would love to be involved in something that high.
Second her motion, and if in the future it's a struggle, we can adapt then.
Perfect.
Okay. So you made the, you made a
motion?
Oh, yeah, you made a recommendation. You made a motion?
Yeah.
Greg seconded?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Perfect. Thought that was going to be more longer than that it was. Thank you,
I
Jackie.
did
Thank you,
too.
Susan. Stepping up. Discussion. Select board to discuss the vote whether, whether to opt in on an authorizing municipalities to opt into a temporary pilot to extend the hours of liquor licenses and to allow for public consumption in designated districts in the summer 2026. I did have a conversation with the chief, and he didn't have a problem with that. I thought he was going to stay, but that's fine. He did not have a problem with it. So, but that being said, maybe there are problems.
Yeah, if
Jen.
I could, Brian, thank you. So on June 9th of 2026, the Commonwealth's Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission, otherwise known as the ABCC, issued an advisory relative to the act proposed by the governor authorizing municipalities to opt into a temporary pilot to extend the hours of liquor licenses and to allow for public consumption in designated districts for the summer of 2026. So this would apply specifically through July 30th of this year. There are a couple of options that the board could choose to opt into. So you can choose to opt in to allow establishments holding a license, an alcohol license, all alcohol license currently, to extend their hours by 1 hour, not later than 3 a.m. You could opt in to designate districts in public areas in town to be for those licensees to serve alcohol, or you can opt into both. At this point, so that would be the vote taken this evening. My understanding is that there are 2 establishments that have reached out and would consider requesting extended hours. The board would hear those applications, I anticipate, at the July 8th meeting, and if approved, that establishment could extend whatever their current hours are by 1 hour through July 30th. So,
Well, one question. So make me understand, what's going to happen on July 8th?
if there are, we'll notify businesses holding current license holders, and if they're interested in applying to extend their hours by 1 hour, we'll try and get those on for July 8th so that
By
they
2
can
hours?
maximize.
Are you saying, or-
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour. Not later than 3 a.m., but I don't believe we have any establishments that are licensed to 2 a.m.
I don't think we have any. Do we?
And it's not automatic, it just gives us the tool if
Isn't
we choose to move forward.
So just so I'm clear, so we can approve this, and those interested have to come back in front of us.
Correct.
And we hear those applications, and then we can decide by each one.
Correct.
If we're allowing it.
So it's literally, it's literally for 3 weeks.
It is, but you might have an opportunity, or an establishment might have an interest in extending their business by 1 hour during that time period. I believe part of this was related to the current FIFA tournaments, and just because they're, in various time zones.
So you said an hour a couple times, so we're gonna extend 2 hours.
No, 1 hour. Each establishment can only, so the first decision the board has to make is, do you want to opt in and make this possible in Hull?
Yep.
Once you decide that, if it's a yes, then establishments that are interested in extending their hours can come in, but they can only extend for an additional hour. So if their license right now is till 12, they can ask to extend to 1 a.m. If their license is 1 a.m., they can extend to 2 a.m. And the board can also vote, when you opt in, to say to not extend beyond 1 a.m. or to not extend beyond 2 a.m. You don't have to go to the 3 a.m. And like I said, there not being any current establishments that have, to my knowledge, a 2 a.m. license right now, there would not be any approvals to 3
Okay, so
a.m.
it's basically for 1 hour.
Yes.
Okay, Jerry?
That's my question. Isn't state law 1 a.m. closing time for bars and
I
restaurants?
think it's 2 a.m.
Oh, in Boston, it's 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
But in Hull, isn't it most of them closed at 1 a.m. at the
Yes,
latest?
I believe so. I don't think we have anyone past.
Yeah, just New Year's Eve.
Right.
So could we, let's say we adopt this, but then we say only for inside establishments, not outdoor? See, that seems like that wouldn't...
I think that would be a consideration
But
when
they
each
wouldn't be able
licensee-
to have entertainment. It
No
would not
entertainment, yeah.
extend their entertainment
You could,
license.
they could.
I wouldn't be for that.
You have to request it, it's not automatic.
I think what's important to remember is it's just an opt-in right now, like
Right.
that's our focus. Once someone
then we
comes,
see
once
who
someone
comes in.
comes before us, then we deal with that.
Okay.
Erwin?
I have a problem with it. I think every time we go over liquor licenses, residents near the establishments have a problem with the late hours, and whether it's inside or outside, if people are drinking till 1 o'clock, last call is, 10 to 1, quarter to 1, whatever it is, nobody leaves right away. They hang around outside, they talk on the way to their cars. I think deference to many of the residents that come before us when there are hours to be extended, that's an issue with noise. So I actually would be opposed to opting into it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just a question. I think you reviewed all this stuff. Just a question. It says here, and allow for public consumption in designated districts. What is
So that would be another one. My advice or guidance to the board would be to not adopt that. So that, for example, let's say we had a common area in town and we had an organization that wanted to do a watch party. A licensed establishment could do that. This is really, as Brian noted, a 3-week period. We don't really have that type of space.
As an example,
The
if-
ability to organize.
Awesome. So as an example, if somebody wanted to do a World Cup watch party on the HRA lot, but they needed a liquor license, we would have to, okay.
They would have to have a liquor license already.
Right, but they would use it at that location, and they'd need our approval for it. Okay.
So, Susan?
Erwin persuaded me to be opposed to this, too. I think it is a lot for the residents, and he's correct. They're very concerned about the noise and things like that, and for us to extend another hour would be a lot. And then that puts the burden on them to have to come to another meeting to express their thoughts on this, when we would hear an application. So I think I agree with Erwin. I would be opposed to this, to opting in.
I can go both ways on this, I guess. It's an extremely fair point.
No,
We've
it's very
heard
fair.
from the residents enough, and even just people talking, gathering at the end of the night is a problem, and I get it. The other side of it is we have businesses that, are trying to make the most out of the limited time they have. So I am in favor of this. Again, I think what we're talking about here is 3 weeks of a little bit more of flexibility for businesses to stay open. It's not going to be, it should not be a noisy situation, because you're talking about people basically being in restaurants and bars for an extra hour, maybe till 2 a.m. for a 3-week time period in the middle of summer. We are a beach community, and this is normal day-to-day what should be going on in the beach community. We're not all, and again, I'm an old person too, so, there is a younger generation that does want to go out and be at these kind of places, and they do stay out late. So.
They leave their money here.
Huh?
They leave their money in the town.
So,
I think when these licenses come up, we walk a fine line between helping a business to maintain and also the rights of residents and people that live near the businesses. And when we have hearings for these, often we end up pulling the hours back because of that and because of residents' concerns. I think we're only talking about a 3-week period. I don't think a 3-week period is going to save anybody's business for 1 hour for 3 weeks. But it can disturb a lot of people. We're a beach community, but we're also a residential community. We're only a beach community a couple of months out of the year. We're a residential community 12 months out of the year.
Great.
Well, my comment was just going to be quick. It's a 3-week window. It could, the chaos that could come with it isn't worth it, so I'm not in favor of opting in.
Okay.
So the last point I'll make, and I can see it looks like there's already 3 votes against, and I'm 100% fine with it. I'm not fighting to try to make this thing be accepted. But this is a directive from the governor of Massachusetts at a very special time, and I think we should approve it. That's my last point.
Brian, can we see if anybody from the public?
Yeah, anybody? Seeing none?
I'm sorry, before that, I just want to, it's not a directive. We're not being directed to do this. It's an opportunity. Very different.
Okay.
But it was led by the governor of Massachusetts, correct?
Right, but it's not a directive.
Okay.
All right, so my take on it is, if it was ever permanent, I'd be 100% against this. I kind of side with Jerry. I mean, being a business owner in town, you only get 4 months to make money, and you'd be surprised how much money they would make that extra hour, some of them. But then again, really, to me, it would really depend on who would want to do it. And if they had problems with noise with the area, as we know with certain ones, I would probably not be too happy with that. But if it's a business that doesn't have any violations, and I think I would side that way. But anyways, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we do not adopt.
Okay.
And
I would like to make a motion that we do adopt.
Okay, so we're going to go with Arun's motion first. So.
I'll second
I
Arun's
think
motion.
You have to go with the substitute motion
Okay.
first.
Okay, substitute, okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, Arun, I didn't mean to do that.
It's fine.
I'd like to make a motion that we do adopt this and give businesses the opportunity to enjoy a small window of extra revenue-generating time periods in this wonderful summertime period.
Okay.
Can I, just recommend the motion, and if you, just so that you have the proper language. The motion would be that the town's local licensing authority under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 138, opt into an act authorizing municipalities to opt into a temporary pilot to extend the hours of liquor licenses and to allow for public, scratch those last words. In summer 2026, specifically moving that the board opt into the late night service provision.
Okay.
Exactly.
So going.
Susan Vermillion, 17 East Street. I just wanted to bring in one more factor to this, and that is that for every drink or every meal that is sold in Hull, the town gets 0.75% of meals tax into our town budget. And so there might be a little pickup there for an extra hour as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Fair enough. So going back to Irwin's motion?
If there's no second, there's no discussion.
I'll second that.
Brian seconded it,
Yeah,
see?
I think, yeah.
It's got a chance.
But I see what we're going with.
Got a chance.
But can I further our discussion?
Yeah.
This is my thought. July 8th is our next meeting, correct?
Correct.
All right, so July 8th, we could have 2 potential people.
I see where
Those
you're
2
going.
potential people could have the same issues that we've already dealt with, and we're going to spin our wheels for 45 minutes to an hour and probably not okay it. That's what I see it. I mean,
Well, you're
if
making
this-
assumptions, my man.
If this was a 6-month window, maybe I'd think about it, but 3 weeks, to have whoever it comes in here potentially turn them away, I don't see the benefit.
Can I give you an example? Let's assume...
We can't give any
Let's
examples.
assume the hotel came in, or let's assume Schooners came in and said, you know what, I would really appreciate it if we had an extra hour. You know, did you hear they're closing the parking lots at 9 o'clock lately?
Yeah.
Can't be good for business. But believe me, like I said, I have no problem if you guys want to shoot this down. I don't have a problem with it. All I'm saying is I think it's worth approving it and then seeing who comes forward, and then we can have another discussion about it and say, it makes sense or it doesn't make sense.
Yep. So, where are we? Erwin, you made the motion?
Well, hold on.
My motion's been seconded. We're looking for a third, we're looking for a vote. We have to have a vote.
Okay, so on the substitute motion, all in favor of Jerry's substitute motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay.
No.
Okay. Erwin.
Okay, well, now we go back to the original motion.
Go back to the original thing. Who seconded your motion?
I'll second it. I don't
Greg
think I had a
seconded.
chance.
All in favor of Erwin's motion not to opt in to, what is actually the municipalities to opt into the temporary pilot to extend the hours of liquor. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
No. 3-2. Doesn't pass.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I did.
Beautiful. Okay, moving right along. Select Board meeting time, day, and including day and time would be the frequency of meetings as well. So, Susan, you were the one that was the proponent?
I was.
I think so.
Do you want me to go? I know Erwin wasn't here when we talked about it last time.
I watched it.
Oh, good. So I had proposed that we consider moving our day of the week till Tuesday, because right now we currently compete with the planning board also having their meetings on Wednesday. And the information I was given was that the select board originally met on Tuesdays, then moved to Thursdays, and then moved themselves to Wednesday. So going to Tuesday would be just going back to what we originally were at. The second thing I proposed was that we move our meeting time from 7 a.m. That's 7 a.m. That would be bad. 7 p.m. to 6 p.m., but not having any public hearings until 6:45 or 7 p.m. so that residents had enough time to get back to Hull and make it to any public hearing. And then the third thing I proposed was that we meet more frequently. As you can tell, we've had a full agenda here. And my thought was if we met more frequently, that would give us a chance for if we didn't have enough information on something, to not feel that we had to rush a decision because we know we'd be meeting the next week. I know that's a big ask, and if that wasn't doable, I asked if we could add 4 additional quarterly meetings to just go over, updates on the budget, projects, things like that kind of thing.
Yep.
In quarterly. So those were my 3 asks.
Okay. Erwin.
I'd like to speak to all 3 asks.
Yep.
Trying to move our meeting to match other committees and boards is difficult because we all serve on other committees and boards. And I know myself personally, I'm also involved in things outside of the select board, and I've pretty much cleared Wednesdays on my calendar. And anybody knows that if they want to schedule something with me, it's not on a Wednesday night. So I really don't see any purpose in changing to another night. As far as weekly meetings, we do schedule additional meetings when needed. So to schedule weekly meetings, and I mean, I love everybody here, but just to get together on a weekly basis, I really honestly don't see a purpose of that when we have the option to schedule additional meetings around budget time, around whatever the needs are. 6 p.m., I don't have a problem with that. I'm just wondering what would be accomplished at 6 p.m. and then only having public hearings starting at 7 p.m. If we start at 7 p.m., as many people as possible can be here, and we've gone late when we have to. It's not like we end, there's a drop-dead time that we end. If we have to go till late at night, we do that to cover whatever's on the agenda. So I actually, I'm open to hearing about it, but I honestly, in thinking about it a lot, I don't see any benefit to these 3 changes.
Okay, Greg?
Well, I like Wednesday nights. With the time, I'm fine with maybe 6:30.
Yeah,
but
so-
I had all I could do to get here tonight by 1 of 7.
Yeah.
You know, I don't close my business till 5, so.
Yeah, so Peter Seitz actually came in before the meeting and said that if you could keep it to 6:30, that would work for them as well.
Really?
And it would be a good compromise, you know? The only reason I say it, and I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, during the summer months, it's not so bad leaving here at 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, when we're volunteers for the most part. But, you know, you leave here in January and February, and you have to clean off your car, and it's 10 below, and I'd rather do that a half hour, an hour earlier than later at night, you know? So just my thought process on that.
Yeah, if I could keep, so 6:30 sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We usually, the planning board is the opposite night of ours. What happens is sometimes when we need an extra one, then it becomes a conflict with them, but we have to do our work that's there. The frequency of meetings, like Erwin had said, we do have the every other, and then when the need comes along, we do add them. So I kind of like that flexibility.
When the need comes about and we add them, so would we just decide that, like, this evening, say, we need a meeting next Wednesday? Is that what you mean, or is that how you add them, or?
It's usually we know tonight that there's
That we're
one
gonna add
needed. There may be a need for 3 or 4 in a row.
Yep.
But when that happens, that's discussed, and, you know, at least it has been the last 8 years, and then we kind of adapt.
Terry?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm glad Erwin said that. I was hoping Tuesday nights would be taken out of the picture because that is a busy night for me, as you know, and I appreciate that. So 6:30, I think, is a really good compromise as well. I agree with that 100%. The only thing I'll disagree with is, you know, I think we need to have more meetings, especially now. I had 5 agenda items that were not approved for this meeting. All of them, I believe, should have been on this agenda. 5. And I don't think they would have taken a ton of time, but, you know, we can't accommodate all the requests. And, you know, I can tell you what the 5 are if you think they're ridiculous and they shouldn't have been discussed, but you know what they are. And we discussed this, but, so that's my opinion is, you know, at least, I know it's summertime, it's 4th of July, it's not the ideal time, everyone's going on vacation and everything else, but, and it doesn't have to happen right now, but we need to go over some things.
Okay. So out of your 5, though, Jerry, out of, you know, so Article 40 should have been on there. And also, too, is I know that you would mention something about a discussion and vote on the dual-use facility, DPW and Hull Light.
These are 2 issues that were discussed in this boardroom last meeting. It was very clear that they should have been on the meeting. Town manager, we've discussed this, and we understand it was a mistake, right? No problem. I think that mistake right now should be corrected, and I've talked to Laurie about this too. The mistake is we're posting the agendas too late. Monday at 5 o'clock, Laurie and her staff are getting ready to go home, right? It's too late.
So I think we're definitely going to talk about this at the retreat.
Okay.
We definitely had a discussion about that, and I had a discussion with Jen today. We got to put more eyes on this thing, you know, because, you know, just small little blurps of, you know, something saying August 18th, it should have been the 15th. I didn't catch it. Ultimately, that's my fault.
Where I'm going to disagree too is, again, as the new vice chair coming in, and we talked about this last week, but at first it was a very important position. It's very important that I understand what's involved in this. But now that I'm in it, there's no change to my position as a regular board member. So I think that's wrong, and I think the vice chair should be involved in the agenda as well and should have eyes on it before it gets posted as well. That's just my opinion.
Fair enough. So the James Ave land issue, I want to put on the agenda for the 8th, for July 8th. So I've already told people, I've gotten emails on it, I've already told people I'm going to put it on the next. We need to at least start the discussion. It's, you know, it was passed overwhelmingly at town meeting, and we got to start that process. And a lot of people want to start the process last month. So I do think that, well, I want to have the James Ave issue on the July 8th Select Board meeting. Greg?
I feel we're drifting. I just want to get back to what we were talking about, and just slight comment about an agenda item. An agenda item has to have meat to it. It has to have facts. It can't just be, and this is nothing about yours, just in general.
Yep, fair enough.
There has to be bones behind it so we can have a discussion. We just can't.
So why don't we do this?
Well, we can talk about that at our meeting.
We can circle back. So why don't we go, Jerry?
I just have to disagree with that because, again, what we're talking about is discussion. So I'll give you an example. My 5 agenda items were Article 40. We were expecting to vote on it tonight. The second one was the garage, and whether or not the Select Board felt like the garage should be approved as requested by the Light Board.
I just don't have enough. I don't have enough information, Jerry. That's
just
what it was.
very quickly,
I made that decision because I don't have enough information.
James Ave
should have been on it. Yep.
To have a discussion.
Mr. Chairman, we're drifting again.
I know. I get it.
We're allowed.
I want to. If someone wants to make a motion, I'll stop the thing and make a motion.
I'll make a motion that I'm flexible to 6:30 if we want to move those meetings to 6:30. If we can, not flexible.
On what day?
On Wednesdays, keeping them on Wednesdays. If we have to add more meetings to accommodate a heavy agenda, we just do that on the fly as we go, like we've done forever.
Okay. Second.
What I don't want to see happen is we come here for a meeting, we have 2 agenda items, we've closed off our Wednesday night, we're in here for 15 minutes and out the door.
That's happened a lot in this room, sir.
That's why you have to get a good agenda.
That has happened a lot.
Can I just add just a note from town manager's perspective on the frequency of meetings? The board has traditionally added in meetings when needed, and oftentimes we keep Lori and I and Stacy, a running list of upcoming agenda items, and so we build out drafts weeks in advance. There are 2 main issues with the weekly meetings, and there's a reason that the board in the past reverted back to every other week, is it's not even enough time between meetings to sometimes prepare for that next meeting. But whomever the chair might be, I can look at that list and say, hey, just a heads up, I think in July, the board might need to add an extra meeting or 2 meetings because this is what's in the queue. And so it just eliminates needing to.
So before town meeting, I think we were meeting almost every week, in April and, yeah. And so before town meeting, Susan, that's when, the business really gets going. As opposed to.
I've been in the audience quite frequently
Yeah, I
here.
get you, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do know
Susan.
that.
Hi, Susan Vermillion, 17th Street. Just wanted to throw out, maybe the first 3 Wednesdays of every month, you have 1 Wednesday off, so that it's a compromise.
So.
Because you do have a lot of agenda items. I see the list, it's like insane.
Perfect. So Greg, you want to?
Well, my motion is to keep Wednesday nights.
Okay.
Start at 6:30.
Okay.
And if we have to go every other week, like we've traditionally done.
Yep.
And if we have a need for an additional meeting, we have an additional meeting.
Okay.
Just be flexible.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, 4 to 1. Jacob.
General comment.
Yep. Is it pertaining to what we're talking about? Or?
No, because you're about to go to executive session, right?
No. We haven't even done an update yet.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So, Irene, correspondence, Irina Davey, Economic Development Committee, regarding letter of resignation. Please send Irina a thank you letter. Also, Scott Taylor, Waterfront Access Advisory Committee, regarding a letter of resignation. If we can send Scott a thank you letter as well. All right. So, moving right along, updates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So a number of updates this evening. One, as we mentioned earlier.
Jen, can I interrupt you 1 second, ma'am?
This was about the select board, so I think this is where we come in. Kathleen Wolfson, I was absolutely flabbergasted that last week, our last meeting, it was very clearly requested that there be a vote on 40. and it was very clearly stated that it would be happening this time. And my request is that the select board be absolutely involved. My understanding is that you guys are you know, you run things in this town, and that it's that you guys are supposed to approve the agenda items, and that you are supposed to make determinations.
Okay, so can I answer that?
Okay, so I'd like you to actually activate that.
Yeah, so can I answer that? Okay.
Sorry.
So when I left Town Hall on Monday
Yeah.
at 4:30 PM, after speaking and finalizing the budget, the agenda, it was on there. Okay, so when it got passed from town manager's office to Laurie, something got deleted, and that's what happened. So,
Yeah.
of course.
Very disturbing.
Yeah, I think just to be fair here. So, first of all, and we're really veering off, the impression or the assumptions that are out there are wholly incorrect. Excuse me, Kathleen, if I'm speaking, if you don't mind. There was and I mentioned draft agendas that we have in place, and the draft item was on there. It was joint meeting, as discussed at the previous select board meeting, to have a joint meeting on Article 40. That was in there. 5 o'clock came. We did not have an agenda request from the light board. I had requested that the joint meeting be removed. That language, inadvertently, between that and it getting posted, the entire, and it's not any one person's fault, was removed. It was a miscommunication and an honest mistake.
Yep.
And the board can decide at any point. You could have been voting on this tomorrow, and this is not pointing a finger at the board either, to set up a special meeting or to just have it on the July 8th
So
agenda.
thank you, Kathy. It did need to be addressed, and I don't want to belabor this. So, Jerry, very quickly.
I don't want to belabor it either, and to me, and I've talked to Laurie about this, to me, the solution is very simple. Number one, we post the agendas much earlier. Number two, we put a system in place with the procedure that the chairman of the board and the vice chairman visually check the agenda before it is posted.
And we're going to discuss that and hopefully get a policy together at the retreat. That fine? Okay. So what I'm suggesting is to place the verbiage for a vote on Article 40 on the agenda for our retreat. So that's a compromise. So we're meeting on June 30th.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. So what we miss, 6 days? I think it's a good compromise. Everybody, you know, go ahead.
I'm just going to go with the retreat needs to be the retreat.
I'm not going.
And because we will not accomplish our goals.
That's not our fault, though.
It's
not our fault. It's not anyone's person's fault. It's not anyone's person's fault. It's certainly not our fault.
Jerry, let him speak.
This is a good compromise. The retreat is about having a quality meeting, setting goals and objectives for the following year. If we squeak that in our meeting, it is going to be time-consuming.
Time-consuming? I think it's going to take 2 minutes. You either vote to send it to the legislature or not to send it.
That's right.
I think the two should be separated.
Yeah.
We're talking.
I'm just saying, I think it's a good idea.
There's precedence for different types of things to happen in these retreat meetings, and I can go into detail with you if you like, as such as training to the select board on, you know, certain aspects of our role. That has nothing to do with goals and objectives. Somebody decided that was acceptable to add into our retreat meeting, so I think this is perfectly acceptable.
Okay, so we're going to discuss this more, Jen.
Okay.
I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. Sorry, I'm going to move on. Updates.
So updates, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I noted earlier, yes, it is true, paving work has begun on Manomet and Samoset Avenues. That work is expected to take about, I believe, anticipated to wrap up about the second week in July. So that is exciting news. National Grid is wrapping up their work on Nantasket Avenue. I believe that's wrapping up this week. Just wanted to touch base on the Ware River water system. The tank dropped last year, and last week. Thankfully, there was not a lot of excess brown water that was realized during that event. Ironically, we had a near identical event happen the same week last year. The belief is, and they continue to look into it, that just as a reminder to the town, multiple towns operate currently off one water tank, and that's the Turkey Hill tank. And so when at the same time or in the same short duration, people are, filling their pools, watering their lawns, we have extended heat, there's a one-time significant demand on that water tank. And that is right now the belief to what has caused that drop. Once the enforcement was put into place on the water and the water ban was increased, we saw over a week's time those the water levels continue to rise, and so they are back up at acceptable levels. And so I just encourage everyone to pay attention to the water bans that are in place and to be mindful of that. The other issue, too, that contributes to that is the lack of snow over the winter. People might not realize, but a lot of that snow melt provides a water source to the reservoirs and tanks, and we just haven't had that over the past couple of years. And whether that's a result of climate change or not, that's a contributing factor. The board already, just as a reminder, the retreat is on the 30th and beginning at 5 p.m. And then the board will not, other than the retreat, be meeting before July 4th, so I just wanted to take this opportunity to remind the community that fireworks and bonfires are prohibited in town, and enforcement will be out in full force on and around the 4th of July. And other than that, just for everyone to have a safe, enjoyable 4th of July, and that Town Hall is observing the holiday on Monday, July 6th. That's all I have.
That's it?
That's all.
Susan?
Okay, thank you. As you know, we voted tonight for entertainment at the Blessing of the Fleet, which is a hosted event by the Nantasket Beach Saltwater Club, and it's in Mariners Park. And it's this coming Saturday, June 27th, from noon to 4, and there's going to be activities for all ages, and the public is welcome. There's going to be a band playing on the bandstand, which is exciting, and there'll be food trucks, and so I just wanted to let everyone know it's a way to celebrate America's 250 and the Saltwater Club's 75th anniversary. So I hope people can join us. Also, I wanted to wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July, and I ask that we keep the fireworks to the experts, please. Thank you.
Jerry.
All right, so on the just very quickly on the seawall one-way road project, as a traffic commissioner, I just don't have a warm, fuzzy feeling about that one-way road without a guardrail in place. It's a moot point at this point, but and I did vote for it because obviously we have to move forward and wrap this project up. But I'm just letting you know I have a lot of safety concerns about a narrow road, no guardrail, and that whole situation. So the first question I have is from last week's meeting, Jen, and it's to you and Town Council. I did send you an email over a week ago. I have not received a response, but at the last meeting, as Kathleen had mentioned, we were informed that we couldn't vote on Article 40 because it wasn't specifically listed in the agenda that a vote was going to take place, and Kathleen has reached out to some state officials in the open meeting law, and I sent you that correspondence, and I'm just wondering how that can happen.
What can happen?
Was it wrong information from you and the Town Council, or was it wrong information from the folks at the open meeting law organization?
No, I think that
at a state level.
I think the assistant AG stated exactly what we stated, and it wasn't. The recommendation was that the board not vote, given past practice, given how the agenda item was listed, given the nature of what was being voted on, and the fact that you did not have a full board at the time. I think, in fact, the board stated, well, we could just re-vote when we do have a full board.
Oh, absolutely. That wasn't the question. The question was, could we vote? And we were instructed that would be potentially breaking open meeting laws.
I don't think those words were used, Jerry.
Yeah, Mr. Winter was very careful about it. He was a lot more careful than you were, and we can certainly replay the tape, and I can go back and look at it again, but Mr. Winter could not be pinned down. He was a lot more vague in his terminology, I think very, very smartly, but we were basically instructed as a board that unless it says a vote is going to take place, that we can't vote, and yet I know all I would have to do is go back and look at a few previous meetings to know that that can't be true.
I don't think anyone on this board will disagree that the vote on Article 40 is important to a contingency in the community, has been a discussion for much of the community over the past year and a half. The agenda listed an update on Article 40, and normally that's just that, so it wasn't vague as in Article 40, so the recommendation was just to wait for a full board. And I'm going to read the AG's office response that said, although it's a good practice for the notice of a meeting to specify that a vote will be taken, when a vote is anticipated in advance, we have consistently explained that it is not necessary. Only the topic need to be listed on the notice, not the course of action.
That sounds opposite of what the advice that you and council gave us last.
Again, Jerry, I did not advise.
Can we try to come to some kind of?
Well, it was a very important thing. Again, we were prepared to vote last week. Now we can't vote this week because there was a mistake that happened. Out of this board's control, right? And we have a sizable select board office. And I'm not blaming the office. I told Laurie that specifically. This is a miscommunication issue.
So why are we revisiting it?
Excuse me, I'm talking. With whoever is responsible for the agenda. Now, that is two people. That is not the vice chair. It's not anyone else on this board. Two people, and solely two people, are now, we have a bad system, and we need to correct it. So there is no proofreading that's happening,
Greg,
and the chair is not involved.
I said this 3 times.
I know we're going to talk about it.
Let's get a policy at the retreat. It's how many days away?
That is what I'm suggesting. And without that policy, I'm just saying that this can continue to happen, and this is what causes, I mean, we talked about town meeting.
Very quickly.
Just a quick comment. A reminder, this is updates. Every time we get to updates, we drift. Let's just have updates, please.
Another drift?
Jake, very quickly, very quickly. I mean, we're in updates here.
I can email it to you after it's
perfect.
Yep. So in April, Jake Valancourt, 1224 Avalon Drive. In April, the elected light board adopted a resolution, which I've provided to you all previously, asking for an accounting of the grants tied to the light plant property and disavowing any representation of the board, support of this project. That accounting has not been provided. Separately, as a resident of Hull in June, I filed a public records request for many of those same documents. The grant application the town filed in March, architect's drawings, quotes for the temporary structure, and records behind the response to my op-ed last fall.
Jake, try to wrap it up. This isn't on the agenda. That's the problem.
I know. Yep. I'm just trying to get an opinion from the select board. So the town produced nothing and called the request too broad, including a request for one grant application filed on one date through one name program. I have 2 questions for the select board. First,
so can you, Jake? I'm going to stop you right there. Send the email. Please send the email. We got to keep moving on. I will be here till 10 Mark 2.
Select board agree with
just send the email with the questions. Okay, I appreciate it. So, like,
the second is
because I want to speak on Article 40 when I'm ready to go. So, stop, Jake. Stop, please. I beg you. Jerry, what else do you have?
So the other issues that I requested were what Mr. Valancourt has started to mention was we were also anticipating to have a vote on whether or not the select board wanted to basically approve the light board's request to build. They want to build a permanent garage structure on their property, and that advice was taken under advisement, and the town and the light plant management team is going in a different direction. Again, we were supposed to discuss that and vote on it. It was very well understood from our last meeting that was also going to take place.
So
the last couple things I had was the James Ave Beach opening was requested to be discussed, and just for an update. And again, for discussion purposes, we know it's not a fully formed agenda item. The point is to give the public an update on something that's very important. The last one was the V Street boat ramp opening. I know we can't sit here and talk for an hour about it, There's no reason to. But an update from council and the town manager is what I was requesting to be on the agenda. I don't think that's outrageous. I really don't.
I think it should be an update. And Jen, do we have any update?
Yes, I'd be happy to give, yes, and thank you for asking the question. I'd be happy to give the update, but I want to reiterate that an agenda item, as Greg noted, needs to have substance to it. Just putting an agenda item on doesn't mean that we'll have an actual update. So V Street, we have done some legwork on it, have the Chapter 91 permit. It has been sent over to council. While it might seem like it's a quick up or down, it's not. It appears that that the license included not blocking public access to the boat ramp. We are not an enforcing body on that. The Army Corps of Engineers are the enforcing body on that. So once council has had an opportunity to look thoroughly through that permit and understand if it's still in force, in effect, and can advise the board as to what the next action is that could be taken, that's the update right now.
Perfect.
And that's
So-
the same with James Ave.
Greg, you and Jen are really getting up in arms about this. So an agenda item request could be simply met with, Jerry, this cannot be discussed. These two are just simply agenda item updates. And we can discuss these as updates, but we put them down so that the public knows there's going to be an update provided. I'm not asking to go deep diving into these things. They don't need to be fully developed and formed. An agenda item request, from my perspective as a select board member, just going forward, just so we're clear, it doesn't have to be met with this big resistance. It can be just, Jerry, is it okay if we just provide an update on
Jerry,
this?
with all due
That's fully
respect,
acceptable.
You're making an issue about not being an agenda item. You also know where my office is, and you have my number. I have offered to you numerous times to reach out and
I love this
contact to
one.
me.
I was waiting for this one. You know why? Because,
I know.
excuse me,
That's
Mr.
so
Chairman, I need to
disrespectful.
respond to that if I might very quickly.
No, actually.
When I got the vice chair position, I was met with,
You
Mr.
have
Gray
a board
confirmed,
policy,
I shouldn't
and it
expect to meet
identifies
with
the
the
vice
town
chair.
manager more than once a year. Once a year, as the vice chair.
She just told you. She just told you that her door's open. What else do you have, Jen?
That's it.
Okay, great. So the way I look at this Article 40 is I want to fix the mistake that happened, okay? Because ultimately, it's my responsibility. You four elected me as chair, and I want to put, and I'm sorry, Greg, I know you disagreed, that it should be just a retreat, but I would like to have the vote taken, and Jen, this is what I'm requesting, is to have that verbiage for Article 40 put on the agenda for the retreat meeting. And it should be a 5-minute meeting. Let's get it behind us. We keep kicking the can down the road. I've been dealing with Article 40, Article 37 for a year and a half. I'm getting sick of it. I'll tell you. Greg, hold on one second. For the sole reason, in my opinion, I don't care who runs the light plant. I've always said it. People care about reasonable rates and reliable service. Again, this is a mountain over a molehill. I want to request, and Jen, this is a request, and to put it on for June 30th, and note that the agenda will need to be posted by tomorrow before 5 o'clock as well.
It does need to be posted tomorrow by 5.
Yeah. Very quickly.
Half a sentence. I would like, when you go on your retreat and you talk 40, you remember that the state legislature has a calendar, and we would love to get on their calendar.
Correct. Okay, so we're requesting, again, this comes to me. This is why the 4 of you voted for me. I'm requesting you to put it on there. We're going to have a 5-minute discussion, Greg, and we're going to move right back to our retreat. That's what I intend to do. Go right ahead.
Can I add that?
Yep.
That we just have a discussion about it. There is no public input.
There's no public, at a retreat.
Then I'm fine with
Yeah,
that. 'Cause
no,
then it can get over
it's a
in 5
retreat.
minutes.
And that's the compromise. No, the 5 of us have a 5-minute conversation, and we end it. So,
Mr. Chairman, quickly, 5 o'clock start for the retreat meeting. I'm just going to let you know, I would request that the town manager schedule the vote at the end of the meeting as opposed to the beginning, because I'm not sure if I can make it for 5 o'clock.
that's fair.
because
Fair
of my
enough.
work schedule.
Fair enough. Put it at 6 or 6:30. I don't have any agenda items this week. Excuse me.
I'm good. I'm just, at this point,
We're all
executive
good?
session would be good.
Okay. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
No, you have an
Can't.
executive session.
We're going into executive session pursuant to Open Meeting Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, and that the open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the body, and to consult with legal counsel and to obtain legal advice pursuant to the attorney-client privilege. Hull Library Staff Association, Local 4928, and not to reconvene in open session. Take a roll call vote.
I Green.
Aye, Taverna.
Aye, McCarthy.
I agree.
Aye, Nassau.
Richie Monner.
Unplug the mics.